2, 1. Welcome everyone to the 10th episode of the Earth to Mars podcast. I am joined here today by my friend Eric Groot, better known as Groot Guitar on the socials. Eric, welcome. Oh my god.
What is up?
Oh my god.
What's up?
Oh my god. Wow,
What's
music.
up?
Welcome.
I'm so glad to be.
Yeah, no, welcome to Marz. Super happy to have you. So I know Eric, actually, fun fact, we went to university together. We actually had the same major, and I believe we first really met in Capstone, right?
We met in Java.
We met all the way back in Java. I was thinking that because I was thinking about telling you. I guess then yeah, you remember? Wait, Java. So here's somewhat slightly embarrassing thing. I took Java twice.
Yeah, I met you the first time you took it.
Jesus Christ.
No. Ooh, no. I was in the second time. We had small talk. The seating was, kind of informal, but one of the days someone took my seat. I'm like, you don't do that, but okay. And so I sat next to you, and I don't remember what, but something on your screen, wallet, whatever, had an anime character on it. And I was like, oh.
It's rushing back to me.
Hey, you like anime? And I think you were just like, why is this guy asking me if I like anime? Like, why? And he told me, I don't even remember what you told me, but the conversation didn't bloom at all because class started.
Fair enough.
Then, one thing after another. And so that was kind of the extent of that class for us.
Gotcha. Okay, was that the class? Do you remember if Juan was in that class or not? Do you remember Juan Rivas?
Juan was in that class. That was the first time I met Juan. Yeah.
Okay, then yeah. So then it was the second time around. And it's so funny because, and I said this when I had Juan on, but it was so funny because I failed. The reason I had to retake it is because the first time I took it, I was fucking lazy and I didn't do the final project until the very last day or two because I was like, this seems too hard. I don't want to do it. And then I was rushing to get it done. But it's really sad. I'll tell you why. Because I had taken at least a year or two of Java before that class. I knew Java. And that's part of the reason I procrastinated. Because I knew how to fucking write Java and I had done it for so long. And that was my fourth fucking computer science class already. I took it was C++ at HCC, but in high school, I had taken tons of fucking Java classes, right? So I was really over it, and then I just didn't do well at the class towards the end, failed it, had to retake it, and then that's where I ended up meeting Juan and you. Although when I think of you, I think of the capstone because that was where it was fucking intense seeing you, and it was fucking the group project work in that class was fucking insane, and I probably seen you present for a lot because in that class it was all presentations. So
yep.
Yeah, but it was good. It was fun. That's funny. Yeah, no, I do remember that. I once you started saying the anime stuff, I do remember it. And in fact, I think I remember. This may be conjecture. I don't know. Did you ever watch anime in class at all? Ever on your laptop? Maybe in class ever? I'm not trying to out you. No, never.
I wish I did. At that time, I don't think I was watching anything. I definitely.
You weren't watching Super in Capstone?
No, I was not.
Okay.
Definitely there are people watching sports all the time. I think there's one guy watching soccer on his phone, and I'd be like, just watch it. Amazing. So, yeah.
Cool. But no, so that's how I knew you. But it was only until after, well, it's actually funny. So after, we graduated and stuff, it turned out that we had mutual friends. And we had similar interests through Smash. We knew Wester.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So we actually had mutual friends. We had a mutual friend that I had classes with all the way back in high school that y'all knew, I guess, because y'all went to the same school or I think so, right? So y'all had known each other for a long time, I guess. And it wasn't until I guess you had reached out about me coming over to go play Smash or whatever. And then when I get there, I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck are you doing here? Very random.
So as far as Smash, I'd played with a group of friends since Smash 4. Smash 4 was really our peak as far as we played it almost every other day. And I was the big fish in a small pond. I beat all my friends. 3 stock. If you'll be lucky if I don't spike you. You better run. You better see me in your dreams. And so I was at the moment, I'm all right, hold up. these are my friends are not practicing. They're not looking at frame data. They're not
Yeah.
matchups. Like I want to get my ass beat.
Right.
So like that's when I ended up finding you somehow. I don't exactly remember how. And yeah, I remember meeting Krebs,
The
and then
homie.
that was the villager.
Yeah.
I forgot who else he had, but yeah, that was a really fun time. Like I miss those Smash days.
And I remember that you were saying that you had gone out to some tournaments and stuff, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I was trying to kind of climb that ladder. Like I got one foot on the ladder and
Hmm.
like I just started shaking. I'm like, oh man, this is hard. And then I just said, nah, I'm good.
And so, did you never go to play like Ultimate or anything, or like?
I did Ultimate, I think 4 or 5 times, and even in fighting games, not Smash Show, in Mortal Kombat and Dragon Ball Fighters, I notoriously go 2-2, always.
Oh wow,
If I
better
lose
than
my
me.
first game, if I win the first game, I lose the next. I win the next two, then I lose the next one. It's almost like a psychic. It's in my head,
Mm.
and so yeah. With Ultimate, I'm trying to remember why I kind of really got discouraged. I can't really truly remember. I remember dropping Mewtwo. I played Mewtwo in Smash 4. I
Mm.
didn't like the tail hitbox, hurtbox changes they did, so I went to Falcon. And Glory and Falcon only took me so far. Man, it's gonna. I'll have to come back to that later. I don't know why I stopped playing Ultimate.
No, that's fine. It was just interesting. And yeah, you had mentioned how you knew Krebs and stuff. Fun fact, he was actually gonna come grab a webcam from me like today or tomorrow. Because I have like a lot. It was so funny. Before the coronavirus, I just had seen so many of the C920s on sale, and I just like copped a bunch. So now I'm like sitting on 3 of them, and so I'm like, what kind of nonsense can I do with like 3 webcams all around me? You know, it's like a keyboard cam, like a side cam. Like what the fuck, you know, something.
I feel that. That's cool.
Yeah, but so that was post college. So that was post college. I was like, oh, cool. That's you play Smash. I'm in like the Smash a little bit. I mainly just kind of like watching, just knowing the people around it, just because I didn't really play a lot of or any really for Ultimate. And then I finally saw or got to know that you made like music, like you played music, and then you had like a whole legit ass fucking brand and everything around it, right? So why don't you talk a little bit about like how long have you been playing music, and like what does that timeline look like for you? Talk to me.
Man, so with timeline stuff, when it comes to musical instruments, I feel like for a lot of people, it's a period of time they pick it up, they play it, they learn the Mary had a little lamb, all that stuff. I kind of don't like to count that. I mean, sure, it's you're playing the instrument, but I kind of just like when you make an honest or like a very sincere attempt to like make it about you and not just you learning the instrument. So that started in 2012 and 2013, out of frustration of no band working out, not finding any musicians who kind of gelled with me the right way or I gelled with them. I was tired of just running into excuses of like, man, I can't do music because I can't meet anybody. I can't do. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just go do music. Being a solo guy, it wasn't really my end game. It wasn't something I was like, man, I wanna release my solo album and take over the world. That wasn't necessarily the goal.
Okay.
So but out of frustration, I just wanted to do something. I started YouTube, and the goal was 1,000 subscribers.
Oh
Like
wow.
once I got that, I could press the button and be over with this life and move on to the next life. Like that was it. Because I was so sure it would be impossible. Like I with like someone like PewDiePie, like he'll say like I never thought I got to 50,000, and all that stuff. Like I kind of relate to that because I genuinely thought I'd never get to 1,000. I never felt I could make a way to get people to care about me playing the guitar.
Hmm.
And so, but with that said, I definitely made very strong attempts for people to care about the guitar. It came down to I listened to a lot of rock, metal oriented stuff. I had a feeling that most people don't want to hear that, especially during that time. I feel like that kind of hard rock. I feel as time has gone on, it's been more acceptable. But even back then, like it wasn't as acceptable. Like people thought everything was just screamo, and some people still do, and that's okay. I don't shame anybody who thinks it's screamo. I would like to kindly educate them if they care enough. But a lot of it was just, oh, you play screamo? I'm like, oh, No, I
Right.
don't. But so
They think all metal
my
is fucking screamo, like hard. Yeah, I got you.
yeah, it's like, oh man, you listen to metal? Do you go to church? I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? It's happened. It has happened. It's
Oh
blown my mind.
no.
Blown my mind. So my business plan, that makes it sound lame. My yeah, just my plan.
Let's go. I want to go back a little bit more though. So you were like playing the guitar during like middle school, high school, and stuff, like young-ish on, or like what?
Let's say freshman, sophomore year of high school.
Hmm.
I I was in this 3D chat room called Imvu. You get your like 3D model of a
Okay.
person, you dress them up, and you go into chat rooms.
Okay. Okay.
And
And you're
I
talking to old
remember,
people. Okay, I got you.
in hindsight, I'm like, I was probably talking to creeps.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But I was 12, I was 13, it is what it is. And I was so proud of my page because you had your 3D model, but you also had your profile page. And I took a lot of pride in the music I had on my page because I'd always theme my profile around the song. So
Gotcha.
I went to some goth girl because she was dressed up very
Oh,
goth.
here we go. First of all, that was a 30-year-old man. Second of all, golf girls will ruin your life, bro. Don't do it.
Yeah. Well, this goth girl changed my life because I went to her profile. I never talked to her ever. Like I never had any communication. But I went to her profile because she was very popular. I was like, why is this girl popular? Just because she's wearing makeup and she's goth? Why? Well, decided no matter what that answer was, she had a song on there, and it was a song called "Tears Don't Fall" by Bullet for My Valentine.
Okay.
Now, Bullet for My Valentine was a very new band at that time, and they scream and sing. I had never heard a rock or metal band scream and sing. And they were playing guitars, obviously, and the guitar riffs were crunchy. I had heard Metallica, I had heard like AC/DC.
Sure.
There were guitars in there, sure, but these guitars, they were playing heavy power chords. They're in drop metal tunings, and again, there was screaming, but there was more singing than screaming. So I was able to digest the music. The guitars were interesting, and I was like, man, I need to learn how to play guitar. And that's what led to me begging my mom to get me a guitar from Walmart, which I eventually did.
You're telling me a goth girl is the reason that Groot Guitar exists? Shake my head. I'm gonna turn into an investigative journalist. This is ridiculous. I guess, I mean, look, for a lot of guys, it's because ladies will push them to heights that they might not have reached before, I guess. I don't fucking know. That's crazy. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it'd be great if I talked to her and there was more of the story, but like it was just I saw the music video and like I forgot about her profile. I didn't care. I was like, I'm all about this music. And then the journey of finding metal that had singing and screaming. And I basically only listened to that pairing for quite a few years.
So would that genre be accurately labeled as screamo, or is that like different?
Dude, genre labeling, that's a whole topic, right? But labeling genre in metal is like the touchiest thing in the world.
Nah, bro. I want a bunch of metalheads angry at me, bro.
I know. It was a type of screamo. Yes, I think back then, maybe not now, because there's still a band. A lot of bands back then.
We don't want to talk shit, so they don't message me on Twitter like, listen, bro, what the fuck?
Listen, I heard what you said. Yeah, I guess it was called screamo in that day, yeah.
Fair enough. Someone in the chat's asking, have you heard of Ginger? Jinjer? I guess it's a band.
Oh, definitely. Not an avid listener. They definitely have a single that I definitely am very familiar with. I don't know the name of it at the top of my head.
Okay.
A female vocalist. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's a female vocalist.
I know this guy. This guy loves his female vocalist, so I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. So that gives me some. So in the journey of like once you got the guitar and stuff, that's where you were like, oh, I want to get in a band. Or you want to find people to like play music with, right? Or no?
Yeah. Well, the very first thing, I want to play that song I found on that girl's profile.
Gotcha.
And I was immediately just kicked upside the head because metal bands don't just, there's tunings with guitars, and in those tunings, there's metal techniques, and I knew none of those. And so the first thing I ever did when I got a guitar is
break a string.
I asked my dad. Well, I forgot how I heard it, but "Smoke on the Water." But I
Oh,
didn't even know.
bam.
0365. Well, the thing is, I didn't know what tabs were. I didn't know those existed. So I asked my dad to go on his piano, and he played the notes. And I literally, note by note, found the notes on my guitar, and I played.
Oh, you're literally like trying to fucking find the like where on the fret and shit.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Then I found tabs. The tabs changed my life. So then from there, it was really, the goal wasn't right away to make a band. It was just to play those songs because I think John Mayer said this, is that when you play guitar and you're in a moment and it's something you love, it almost feels like you're a superhero. Like you have these powers that like you feel like you can do anything. And I relate to that hard with when I'm playing stuff that really resonates with me, because it's almost like a type of high. It's just, it feels so right.
Is it? Do you think it's kind of like a flow thing where like you're like there, like super engulfed in the moment of like playing, that it just like overcomes you? Like,
yes,
you think something like that?
100%.
That's
100%.
crazy. So did you ever take like formal guitar lessons or anything?
So on several occasions, I was like a very responsible young adult. I wasted all of them and learned almost nothing from them, and regretted it every single time. It was awful.
Rough.
The best thing that happened was the final teacher I had. Shout out to Stéphane Bedrou, a French teacher I met at Sci-Fair, at Lone Star Sci-Fair. An elective was guitar lessons.
Oh.
And my mouth dropped. I'm like, are you serious? I'm gonna get a school credit? I'm like, yes, sign me up.
Sign me the fuck up, yeah.
And he was hands down the best teacher, but for many reasons. But one of the reasons is that he wasn't a teacher that he had this template for me. He didn't want to make me learn Beethoven, make me learn this. He was just like, what do you want to learn? And I was just like, let's do this. And every now and then he would try to show me something. He'd be like, yeah, you're not feeling this, are you? Okay, let's do this crappy thing you want to learn. And I'm like, he would be very informal. He'd be very just straight to the point. And the scales and essentially tools he gave me have stuck with me to this day. So it's like he gave them to me so that it's special. I needed him, right? But those things were always readily available online. I just didn't know I needed them.
Right. He pointed you in the right direction for you to like carve your own kind of way and like best figure it out. Because that's something on the topic of guitar stuff I've heard before, where it's like someone, I remember hearing this on a podcast where someone was trying to learn the guitar and they had a teacher that was like, okay, what do you want to play? Like the same way that you said, it's like, what do you actually want to play? We'll learn how to do that. And then they'll teach kind of their lessons, I guess, around that almost, basically, right?
So I teach guitar, and that is exactly what I do. And wow. I actually, before I get students, I highlight and I tell them like, hey, I'm going to tell you, to some teachers, I may be a bad choice because I'm not going to musically educate you. I'm not going to tell you how to read music. I'm literally here to help you have fun. And we're going to get there however we figure it out. So with each lesson, it's personalized in some way because everyone wants to do something different on the guitar. And it's mainly because of Stéphane Bedrou that I kind of learned that. I was like, you know what?
That style.
Whenever you want, when you sit someone down, you try to make them learn some simple jazz piece, and they don't even know what jazz is. It's like it discourages them from wanting to learn. So it's a really good approach. That's cool.
I didn't know you did that. Is it like a little side hustle? You're like, yo.
Yeah.
I love it. No, that's awesome. That's cool. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's why we went back. God damn it. That's why we went back in time. That's cool. Okay. So that's kind of you got to the point, and then it just like stuck with you. Like you've been playing this shit since then. Like just fucking like fell in love with the guitar.
Pretty much. I'd find out. So Bullet for Valentine was the first one. A whole series of bands. I had a Paramore phase. I learned every Paramore song you could think of.
Oh man!
And love, man.
No
Paramore,
sir.
Oh gosh.
You need to go to an emo night. Whenever you get all vexed up or whatever, you feel safe to go out. You need to go to an emo night around here, bro. They play fucking hits.
I would be down.
Yeah, no, I never like. It's so funny. I've been to emo night like 2 or 3 times now, and I never was into that like in high school or middle school. Like I was listening to like other shit. I was into like rap music and shit. I never really got into that type of song. Like I know maybe the odd band or the odd like song or whatever, But like when I'll take like my girlfriend there, and she like knows all like so like the crowds go crazy when it's a song that like everyone knows and all this stuff, and I'm just there like it's electric. It's like, oh my god, everyone's all fucking living their high school lives. Man,
Gotcha.
no, that's cool. It's really cool. Okay, and so at some point you got fed up with trying to get people to play with people and stuff, right? Or you were trying to find people to play with? Like, how'd that work out?
Okay. Man, so I had a band in junior year of high school. I finally did meet a guitarist that I got along really well with. His name was Andrew, and we made a fun band. We got a drummer, got the whole cast, the vocalists
wow.
and everything. And like most high school bands at that time, we were just having fun but trying to be cool at the same time.
Mhm.
And you know, it had its ups and downs, but at the end of the day, I think everyone had a hunch. You know, it had a half life, or I'm not.
Yeah.
That's the right word. It had its day. The day was gonna come. None of us knew when, but it was gonna come.
Expiration date, yeah.
Yeah, it was gonna happen, and it was a good time. Relationships and bonds were made, was great. But then once that died, I think I took a small break. Through all these years I played guitar, there have been some breaks.
Sure.
The most recent one, which I could get to later, was 2 years. That's the longest I've done, but that's way later. So I took a small break, and then I sat down and I thought to myself, all right, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna go as hard as I can. I think I was 19 years old, so I was I don't I was not at U of H yet. I was still at Lone Star, and my thought was, I'm going to give it the honest
Like due
chance I can.
diligence.
I had money now. I had a job. That's what really hurt the first band. I mean, our parents drove us to practice, man. Like that was, it was really, no one was self-sufficient, and that hurt us everywhere it could. So once I was over, I thought to myself, I have money. I can find other people with money. It doesn't have to be a lot, just something. I mean, not like I was making a lot of money at the time. I was working
Sure.
at I think a Hot Topic at that time. I was working at Hot
Oh,
Topic.
Jesus Christ. You
The best
can't get
memory
away from those golf girls, bro. You got a job at Hot
Oh,
Topic?
no.
What the fuck?
No.
How many blue-haired, zoomies, bracelet ass wearing girls were checking out there, bro? Come on.
The best story I have from Hot Topic is a little girl came up to me and I said, "Hey, well, did I say hey? I don't think so. I think I just looked at her and she said, 'Sir.'" I'm like, "Yes. How can I help you?" And she said, "You don't look like you work here." And I'm like, I got my badge. I'm like, "Oh, but I do. Do you need help?" She's like, "No, you look too normal." And I was just like, yo,
Yo.
why are you? And by the way, little girl, like not even in like 6th grade. We're talking
Holy
small girl.
fuck.
And I am just in my head dying of laughter. I'm like, I mean, I could go get a piercing right now if you'd like. If it'll make you buy
Holy
something.
shit, bro. This little girl punked you. She said, go walk your ass to J. Crew. Holy fuck. Bro, you
Yes.
got sunned by this little girl. That's amazing.
So good. Best memory of there, hands down.
That's fucking insane, bro. She said, go to fucking H&M, bro. Get out of here.
Yeah, for real. So back to the band. So I had the job. I also wanted the music to be more mature. It was still a rock metal band, and as time went on, I found some members. It was always kind of iffy to find people that kind of wanted it. I think the idea of like, hey, you want to be in a band? People's minds were like, oh yeah, band sounds cool, let's do it, without thinking of what it really means to be in a band. Like band, I think has this impression that, oh, it's a fun time. Like you're gonna play music, you're gonna be like, there's
the glamour is kind of like, oh,
Yes.
we're in a band, we're
Ooh.
cool, fuck money, get bitches. Yeah.
like biggest one. You ready for this? If you're in a band, you have to practice your instrument.
No.
That is a thing.
Lil Wayne
a lot of
didn't need
people may not
to.
know that.
He had a guitar. He played rock music.
Oh no, you did not. Anyways, so there had its ups and downs. I ended up finding a local engineer who was known for making really great metal mixes. And so went to that engineer. Our idea was to do an EP. And I had a drummer in the band named Devin, and he kind of embedded himself into the Houston metal scene.
Cool.
He was younger. He was like 15, 16, and I was 19. He was just everyone's friend. And so in my head, I'm like, this is going to work to our advantage. And he was hyping up our band. Everyone was like, oh man, I can't wait to see your band. And essentially, long story short, we got 3 songs recorded. sounding pretty stellar, and then I think when some moments of truth came up, the other bandmates kind of just turned away.
Hmm.
And that's the best way to sum it up. And so it ended up being just me. I was all alone again. No bassist, no drummer, no nothing. And I thought to myself, here I am about to change my major because at Sci-Fair I was doing the medical field. I was doing sonography.
The fuck is
And
that?
yep.
No,
So
wait, isn't that what they do with fucking submarines and shit?
oh, no.
Stenography. What the fuck is stenography? Isn't that when you take like a piece of paper and a rock and then you trace over the paper?
Holy shit. Sonography is essentially like whenever they want a woman is pregnant and they put the jelly on her stomach and they use the machine to see the baby.
Okay.
That's sonography.
Oh, so it is basically, yeah. It's like underwater. That's close.
Yeah.
The submarine wasn't too far off. That's like a degree of separation away from baby.
100%. So thing is that pays really good money and it doesn't take a whole lot of schooling. But so I made a very, very smart decision and I wasted 2 years of my life and then I decided to quit. So, sunk cost fallacy, didn't worry about it, moving on.
Yeah.
And I changed my major to IT. So the band is happening at this time.
Okay.
Me being alone again. And so I'm like, okay, I'm about to do a new major. I'm going to IT. No way that's going to be easy. Do I want this band thing? And I'm like, nah, I'm done. So I hang up the rack. I lose a lot of inspiration, and I kind of tell myself, you know what? I guess it is what it is. I gave it in my head. That gave it my best shot. In hindsight, I probably could have tried harder to find people not abroad, but like outside my city. But that felt so overwhelming. It felt so hard. Like,
Sure.
man, I have to find these people I don't even know. They live so far away. My car, I wasn't comfortable driving my car very far. I just felt so ill-equipped. I had no confidence, and so I buried the whole guitar passion thing.
Yeah.
Because you remember that YouTube hasn't entered the picture yet, so it's just the band.
Right.
And that was it. So there enters a about a year period of me not playing guitar.
Damn. Sadness. Your poor guitar.
Gosh.
Collecting dust.
Yep. A lot of dust. Oh yeah, it was gross.
Jesus Christ.
It was gross.
Okay, so you get in your little funk, right? I guess at this point where you've been in U of H?
Yes.
Right, because you switched majors.
Yeah.
Okay. So then when did you finally... I can't take it anymore. I must go back.
So what was that one? I think it came about where I was on YouTube, but I've always loved watching guitar covers of bands I love and whatnot. And I remember seeing a couple covers of songs I liked, and I didn't think they were that great. Not like any bashing on them. I was just like, man, this is kind of this isn't the sauce, but it had thousands of views. And I'm like,
I could do that.
I can do this. like straight up. I was like, I can do this. But a lot of like reality checks hit me. I'm like, okay, well, hold up. The guy who's doing this has been doing it for a long time. His quality is subjective, okay, but he's been doing it for a long time. He's got people to care. And so my thought was, if I just play Paramore songs, hypothetically, I don't even know. Pretty sure I wasn't listening to Paramore at that time. But anyways, if I play Paramore songs, why is no one going to watch my cover, even if it's better? Because that's one thing I've learned in music, and I don't know how well it translates to other hobbies or endeavors.
Sure.
Just because you're good doesn't mean anyone cares at all. Like gaming, I would think, League of Legends, Smash Bros. If you're good, people will be like, oh, okay, let me see what you got. Like they'll sit down, they'll watch you. Like, how are you going to play this out?
Potentially,
if you're good at potentially, yeah, you're right. Give or take. But with guitar, there could be someone who is legendary. Like they hit all the right notes, do this and that. But if it's not in the people's interest at the right moment, they just don't care. Yet, however, there's a guy who's playing power chords to an AC/DC song, and that people like, I had the song in my head the other day. Then boom, that guy has 50,000 likes, all this stuff. Whereas the guy who's a virtuoso here, it's like he's not connecting with them in any way because it's that AC/DC song that someone had in their head the other day.
It's like it sounds very much like a marketing problem, right? Like you could be really cool, but if no one hears of you or can find you, no one's gonna see you, right? So it's like finding a way to getting seen, I guess, or being at the forefront of people's mind or the back of people's mind or something, right?
Yes, and I think an understanding was being good is not enough marketing. Being good obviously helps. It's not like it's just people don't know how to play guitar who are at the top, but being good, being competent, I think is mandatory, and then the rest can kind of falls into place as you're hitting all these other criteria. So I decided to start doing pop covers of current top 5 hits. But there's a catch. I would do instrumental versions and I would improvise in essentially play with the main vocal melody to make it interesting so no one had ever heard it.
Oh, so you're like writing on top of the like the instrumental version. You're kind of like free. It's kind of like freestyling.
Yes, but making sure and always reviewing that it's close enough. There might be some sections, let's say this is the second time I'm doing the bridge. I might get a little fancy, crazy stuff. But the first time I played the bridge, almost identical.
Okay.
So the poll was I would name them renditions. So the first one I ever did was the song "Rude." Why you gotta be so rude? That was the first attempt, and it was received pretty well. Like people said it was nice, it was cool, and I took positive feedback, and I essentially kept going. So this pop rendition era was I wasn't even Groot Guitar, I was just Eric Groot, and I was doing that. I was listening to what are the top hits, this or that. And to this day, my biggest video of 40,000 views is "Chandelier" by Sia.
42,000.
Oh, okay. What's up, 2,000 people?
Let's go.
So I watched that video. I can't help it. It's just one of those things. I cringe out of my mind because I look at my playing. I'm like, you scrub. That is so weak. And
I went ahead and linked it in the chat for everyone.
Oh.
Yeah, no. It's as you were talking, I was going to your YouTube channel to look at like your most popular, and then it is all like older stuff. And like, yeah, the video right there. Electric guitar cover.
I am not insanely proud of the Sia cover. At the time I was, and I don't feel it aged particularly well.
I mean, anything you do like 6 years ago, come on.
Right. However, the second most popular one, the Charlie Puth Marvin Gaye, I still think kind of hits a little bit. I think some parts of that, I'm like, yeah, you knew what you were doing. Good job, man. Good job.
Yeah. Okay.
So this pop era had its ups and downs. I was enjoying it until I wasn't enjoying it because each song took minimum 2 weeks just to write. So not even video, not editing, just writing it took 2 weeks. And then video, and then I had an editor at the time. Shout out to Ryan Strain, who's a vocalist on YouTube. So this process was starting to drain me. And once I hit 1,000 subscribers, whoop, 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 so epic, yeah, party, celebrated. Then I thought to myself, and then I did a couple more videos after that. And then once I realized I wasn't climbing to 1,000, I didn't know what goal to make. This process became really draining, and I stopped and I asked myself, I need another goal. And I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna go for 10,000 or like 5,000, or it's like it's kind of the same thing. I was struggling to find the motivation other than just seeing a number. And I thought, oh well, collaborations, hell yeah. I might as well have been in Casper 3 because everyone ghosted me. No one cared.
Feel that.
I shouldn't even say ghost. Didn't even acknowledge me. And it's like I didn't take it hard. It's just all right. Well, that's business, and it's just that hurt my morale hard because I felt that was a natural step. And so going back to what I was doing, the fun just started to drain. And I'm not sure what the last pop cover was, but I was just like, all right, you know what? I'm not having fun anymore. If no one's interested in working with me, then what's the point? Then I kind of decided to drop it. And shockingly enough, a lot of the views that are on some of them, they weren't there when I was doing it. I've seen this comment with some other YouTubers, is that it's when they drop the video, they stop worrying about it, they forget the video exists. They move on. A year later, it has like, oh, it blew up. They didn't even know it blew up. So that happened with both Charlie Puth and Sia Chandelier. it's kind of a shame. I was not present. I was not here when it blew up. I think 1 month I checked my YouTube and I was stunned. I'm like,
What the fuck?
like 30,000? Like, are you kidding? I look all these comments. I'm like,
What the hell?
I was kind of upset. I'm just like, this is awesome. I'm like, where was I? I was so like down on myself. I'm like, who cares? Obviously nobody. And yeah, so
Let me okay. Let me before we keep going. I want to come back a little bit more. So you decided once, because you were feeling kind of overwhelmed of finding other people to play with bands that were like out of city or whatever. So then you decide to start YouTube, right? You're like, okay, let me start recording. And then you started initially with your renditions of like pop songs, right? Okay,
yeah.
I got that part right. How many videos do you think you made? So it was from the very like beginning of the channel, it was taking like 2 weeks or so per video ish, or
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
How many videos do you think you dropped like that? Or how many like in this time frame did you do?
We about to find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I shouldn't. I'll just say I have some unlisted because I.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8 or 9.
Damn.
8 or 9.
That's crazy.
Yep. They were fun. If I look at them right now, the two I'm most proud of are Marvin Gaye and The Weeknd. Even to this day, I'm really proud of The Weeknd one, and I wish I had some secret formula to make it blow up more. But I actually think I was late. That was it. I was late. That song came out, and I was again the writing process. That was one thing that was so rough about this.
Yeah, talk to me about why it takes two. Because I'm not a music person. I don't understand. So explain to me what it was that you were doing / writing.
Naturally with content, even, and I'm sure you can relate to this, even I do it now with my current content. When you do something enough, after the second, even third time, you optimize things. You're like,
Yeah,
all right,
for sure,
this sucked, but now I got this. Well, the section that I couldn't cut down was the writing process, and that's because one, the first step, and sometimes this would prevent me from doing what I wanted to do, which is another reason that I stopped doing this, is I had to find an instrumental. I had not done my due diligence when I was younger. I didn't learn how to program drums. I didn't learn how to program bass. That's actually my biggest regret. If I could go back in time and fix anything, I wouldn't take away my breaks. I wouldn't do anything, but I would make sure I learned how to program drums and bass. So because I didn't have those, I relied on YouTube and karaoke channels to upload full instrumentals.
Okay, wait. So by program drums and bass, you mean like literally like go into like Ableton or something, or like
Yes.
FL Studios, and literally just make the background. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You gotta dumb it down for me. I'm dumb.
Thank you for
I'm
reminding
slow.
me. Yes. So
Okay.
the top of the top, the people who are making their living doing music on YouTube, they 100% do that. Everything is from them, bottom up.
Gotcha.
So relying on these karaoke things, and sometimes was it Marvin Gaye or was it The Weeknd? Someone will, through some audio engineering magic,
Wizardry,
will strip the vocals out of the track, and therefore I have an incredibly high quality instrumental. But that was rare.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's basically a crapshoot of hopefully someone's uploaded an instrumental that I can use for this.
Oh, there's a song on the radio that if I do a cover, it's gonna blow up. Cool. Oh, there's no instrumental. Guess I'm not doing anything.
Gotcha. Okay, that's definitely a unique problem I never thought of in that regard, of like for like a music content creator. That's really interesting. Okay.
So again, I think a lot of more well-rounded musicians than I was at the time, again, would have learned the drum and bass, because that circumvents that problem. Then it's just on you. It cuts out that reliance on something else.
Okay, but that's still crazy, man. Like so many videos, and then that like kind of longish process, and then dropping it, and then going from there. But it's really cool to see, because you've been doing it. Those videos that we're talking about, they date like 6 years back, which is really awesome. Like it's so cool, because I'm sure back when we were in like high school and stuff, YouTube was like a thing. but not many people, at least people that I know, took it as like a serious thing to do. Like I have some friends of mine back in the day, like middle school or so, they had been like filming stuff and doing like, back then it was like sprite movies and stuff, you know, like just cool like animated sprite stuff, like. And so they were like really cool with it. And one of the things that they tell me is like, damn, if only I had just kept doing stuff, like just kept uploading whatever videos, because those videos from even way back then, just by virtue of being so fucking old at a time when YouTube was just kind of nascent, not really, it's just like cat videos and shit. And then their regret of like, damn, if I just kept going, because that's one of the things, is like your shit, some of your most popular videos are like 6 year ago old videos and stuff. So it's really cool to see that like you've been doing it for a while. And I'm just relating it back to, because, you know, I only recently got into YouTube, more or less, having known about it for a while and always like it being there. So it's just cool. It's just cool to think about, you know?
Oh, I remember. I know one of the main reasons why I quit. So, a lot of these pop covers have over 10, 20,000, with the exception of maybe one. At the time, I was barely breaking 200. Like, I was lucky if I got 100 views. So what I would do is I would dedicate minimum 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours, and I would type in the name of the song and look up every single cover of that song. I would then go to every cover, watch minimum 15 seconds, and give an honest, genuine reply to that video. And say, by the way, if you don't mind, I have my cover. Come check it out. So YouTube pages, I would be up to page like 18 or 20. So like the highest I was like 30. So that process, again, sometimes 6 to 8 hours. And then here's the thing, it would actually work. These exact people, not the same day, not the same week, some yes, they would watch my video and would leave a nice comment, and that was it. So that process of watching all these videos would fry my brain to a crisp. And at first, it wasn't hard at first. But like I said, there are all these videos of 9. It got overwhelming. But I felt if I didn't do that, and funny enough, I think the pop cover I have up now that has the least amount of views, I didn't do that because it was a cover, and it's just like, nah, I won't, I'm good. Like I felt because it was with the vocalist, it would have enough kind of clout or push, but it didn't. So that marketing, because Facebook, as far as now, Facebook and Facebook groups, I feel weren't as like they weren't as in motion as they are now.
Like
if I post something on Facebook, if I say, hey, go check this out on Facebook, back then no one sees it, no one cares.
Gotcha.
Groups weren't as big as they are now. Instagram, I don't think I wasn't even on Instagram at this time. I didn't think it was for music, and I actually think that might have been a mistake.
That's back when Instagram was on. That's back when Instagram was blue. No, I got you.
Yeah. So
that's so cool, because that's such a thing that you hear, like that process of going to every video and like leaving a comment or something. Like that's something that when I was looking into how to market and stuff for Instagram, is that they say like leave an honest comment on different people's stuff that are in hashtags that you want to like get known for in communities. And even on Twitter, like that's something really high level marketers say to do, is like join these conversations, be part of the community, get seen, leave an authentic, honest, constructive, nice something to become known and seen in the community. So that's really cool that you like took the time to actually do that shit. Did you do it on your own accord? Like did you like read somewhere to do it, or like what made you do that?
It was the only thing I could think of.
Genius.
Yeah, I was desperate. I was just like, I don't know how to make people do it. And that was the thing. As you've seen on posts, like people say, oh, good job, or that was cool. I always went out of my way to find a timestamp, or like, let's say in this cover, they hit a high note that wasn't in the original. I'll always comment on the unique stuff.
Yep.
So it's like a receipt, like, hey, I actually checked this out. I'm not just saying, good job.
You're just oh, nice cover, bro. Nice cover, bro. Nice cover, bro. Nice cover, girl. Nice. Yeah, I got you. That's awesome.
I felt, here's the thing. I did that so much. I felt if I did that, I would have been found out, and they would just block my comments.
No, yeah, it's authentic. I mean, that's the way to do it, is like legitimate, like caring, stuff. But I could also see how you kind of got burnt out of it, of having to do it, because it's a lot. Finding that, I guess it would have been finding that nice, like, let me do it for like the first maybe a little bit of the video being posted, and then it's like, okay, let's not go crazy too deep. But that's so cool. So you were doing that for how many videos you think you did that for?
Every single video.
Oh wow!
Every single, except the one with the vocals.
Except the one where you were like, oh, it didn't do as well.
Yeah, Sugar by Maroon 5. Yeah.
Wow, so, that's crazy.
Now, fun fact. It was just the right time and place, because that strategy would not work today because of YouTube's automatic comment filtering. If you, in any shape or form, even on my own videos, so people leave comments, I have had a comment filtered, and someone said, "Hey man, a really good job. I like your production. Feel free to come check out my channel. I did my own cover." And YouTube literally held the comment and said, "Hey, this looks like spam. Do you want this to go through?" So YouTube has made it just, in a way to solve a bigger problem, but it kind of stops that way now, because if you in any way, I don't even know what words or what dictionary it has, but if you suggest, hey, but check out mine, boom, like, gotcha. We're going to see if...
Did that comment that you saw that got held, did it have a link, an actual link, or did it just say...
No.
It just said...
No.
Huh.
Nope.
It makes sense, because, that's, people who just make, like, spam bots or something, they're like, check out this video, check out this video, check out it.
Yeah,
it makes sense. I get it, but I guess it's like, be authentic and then not have the call to action to go to your bio and stuff, I guess. But no, I see what you're saying, is that like now the algorithm's getting to a point where it'll discourage you trying to bring people, just to block out malicious people, for sure.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
So I don't do that anymore. I'll be honest. I would do it to some degree if it worked for that. Not 6-8 hours. Like, it was so brutal, man.
I can't.
But yeah. In a way, I'm almost glad that YouTube just makes it not a good thing.
That's crazy. And so, I see and understand better now why you kind of burnt out of all this pop stuff.
Oh, well, by the way, I think the original question was the whole writing process. Yeah, the first thing was the instrumental. That's just the first step, my guy. That was only one reason why it took forever. Is the actual writing process of, I don't know music theory. I play by ear, and I would have to listen to the song obsessively, and I have to make this blend of capturing the vocal melody while also making it make sense on the guitar. Now, here's a kind of event here. There are guitarists, or at that time, I don't know now, most likely there. I don't see why there wouldn't still be there. But there are guitarists that note for note just play what the vocals are playing. 100,000 views. 2,000, every single video, bam, bam, bam. There is zero characterization, zero personality, just mimicking the vocals to a T. And I felt that wasn't satisfying. And if I did do that, guess what? I guess I just mentioned there are people already doing it. Why are they going to come see me? So sometimes that would kind of bug me. I'm like, man, like, I'm doing so much work. I have to not only listen to the song obsessively, but make that blend of making it like the guitar is singing it, not the person.
Right. Give your own flair, and the guitar, like making the guitar stand out. Okay.
And it's a whole ass song. So pop songs, we're talking 3 minutes here. And so, each the final chorus has to have something different. The bridge has to be flashy. Do I add rhythm chords and lead chords into the session? And that just always took 2 weeks. Always.
That's rough.
And then here's the guy listening to it once and playing along, like, oh, I'm done. Bam. It was so discouraging.
Perfect pitch. It's like if you were in a program that just plays stuff and you just have like a guitar, just play the notes. I got you.
Basically.
Like if you gave it to a printer and the printer was like, yeah.
Yeah. Now, to be fair and not to be too negative, I think those people that did that, they added a performance to it, so they're actually like having a good time. So it's not like they're watching a robot play the notes, because that's not fun. And coincidentally, the guys who did this always had a good camera, a very good camera. Like, I don't think 4K was really a thing, but it was definitely 1080p, while everyone else was 720.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
I gotcha. So, no, that's cool, man. It's cool to hear like the beginning-ish stages of your channel and like what you were doing. Basically, just how you were trying to figure out what to do and what not to do, right? You're just kind of like, I don't know, let's just figure it out. That's awesome.
Pretty much.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So then after the whole, so then kind of like what was your plan, I guess, or what did you do after? So I guess at some point you like stopped doing those covers, and then you look back and you're like, holy shit, they were doing really well. But what was the next step of your channel past this like pop or the rendition early beginning phase?
So disclaimer, I love pop. I love pop. The first music I ever got into was a Backstreet Boys and Christina Aguilera CD. My sister, I don't even know if she let me have it. I think I just took it when she wasn't home. So
Gangster.
and I jammed that on my CD player. And so pop hooks, pop production, that's one of my first loves. So that's why doing these pop covers wasn't like torture. It was just, all these struggles that kind of made it hard. So, but at the end of the day, I don't like all pop. In some of the songs, I've noticed some are definitely unlisted. I definitely didn't want to play, and it came down to that. It didn't matter if I wanted to play or not. If it was a new hit, I had to learn it. So once I was done with the pop covers, Marvin Gaye, that was the last ones, and I actually wanted to do that. The musically, like sonically, it was a somewhat interesting song. It wasn't some basic like get rich quick pop song that some producer made. It was very creative. But after that, I couldn't find much more. And once I put that down, I realized, you know what? If I ever do YouTube again, or when I do it again, it's only going to be kind of selfish. I'm going to do it just because I want to. And I'll be damned if it gets more than 50 views. Probably won't. But I'm going to do it because it's going to feel good to me.
Gotcha. Like pure on passion project.
Yeah. Therefore, the next song was an anime song from Tokyo Ghoul. And I had a blast.
Damn. Gotcha. Okay. I see that. Okay. So you're just like, fuck all this shit. You had like one, all right, here's the pop song I actually like that's cool and different, and then you're like, fuck it. We're going full ass weeb. Amazing.
Yep. So
are you big like I'll interject right here from all the music talk. How you big anime guy? You watch a lot?
I'm a semi big anime guy. I watch a fair amount. The anime I do love, I'm a really, really big nerd about. Okay. But I don't watch anime on a monthly basis. I don't keep up with all the new stuff.
Okay.
I eventually get to what's popular. I didn't watch Demon Slayer
until
like it came out. Everyone, even my cereal was telling me, "Hey, have you watched Demon Slayer yet?"
Yep.
And I watched it almost a year after it was out, and then I watched it. So it's kind of like I'm never in a rush. It's never a priority. But man, do I love me some anime.
Okay. I had to interject. All right, we're back.
So it came down to doing stuff I like. So I did a couple anime covers. But the timing is really separate. So I did 2 covers, didn't do something for a year. And then I didn't do something for 2 years. So it was really like I'll only upload something if I really feel passionate about it. Otherwise, it's not worth the trouble.
Gotcha. So it was just kind of like when you feel like if it just kind of hits in that moment, like, you know what, that like thing of inspiration just hits you right.
I mean, when I look at it, I did the Tokyo Ghoul OP because that song is hype. Then I did another anime OP, No Game No Life, because that is hype.
Okay.
And then Megalovania from Undertale. I mean, that soundtrack was everywhere.
Is that the?
How did you know? Of course it is.
Fucking, I don't know. It's a good solid guess.
But that's the song. There's quite a few to be fair, but that's like the one that stands out.
Gotcha.
And then after that, one more anime cover, and it was things that I thought were just hype, and I was like, you know what, I want to jam out to that, and that's really all I kept the videos to. Damn.
So, okay, and so is this finally? So, like you were saying towards the beginning, your branding was just like, this is me, I'm Eric Groot, right? Is this like when you're starting to do all these songs that you kind of like you just really wanted to do? Is that when you're moving closer to the Groot Guitar? Or are we getting there, or is it
getting there?
Okay, we're getting there. Okay, so now you're kind of you at this point you had like taken kind of like a break. You said you're like a 1 year break, and you kind of back into it in like a 2-ish year break. Was it mainly just because of like you're just kind of like I'll play it whenever, and also because of like school stuff, or?
No, I'll play it whenever because I think the burnout from the pop stuff was pretty severe, man. Like it was really really hard on me.
Hmm.
Maybe not emotionally. I don't make it sound like it like depressed me or anything,
Hurt
but
you.
my relationship with the guitar was definitely really burnt.
Huh.
I could definitely say that. Like picking it up, I didn't feel like a superhero anymore. It felt like a ball and chain. I was like, oh man, like
Wow.
that's a lot of pressure. Let me put that down and let me go back and play League of Legends because that played
Oh.
that for a hot minute.
Uh-oh. League of Legends will steal your soul, bro.
Oh, it did for a couple years. So I've been there. I'm a recovered league player.
Same. Yeah, no, I was
Or
League.
am I?
I play TFT now. No, I was a big fucking I played back in season like 1. And so during high school it plagued me. Yeah, I was playing a lot of League and then like throughout high school and shit. Don't play that much now, and if I do, I'll play TFT. I got to like diamond it. I got diamond in TFT. I'm a gangster.
Hold up.
Yo.
A couple years ago, I don't know if we were in college. You were actually streaming. You playing League. You were on the road to something.
Most maybe.
I remember.
Was it like? Well, I don't know. I definitely remember like playing and streaming League at some point, like in my varied Twitch career.
I remember messaging you because I was like, "No way, he's playing League. How cool!"
That's funny.
You were bot lane. That's all I remember.
Yeah, I was a big support guy. Yeah, it was probably like me dicking around with some friends trying to like see what we'd place in rankings and shit. Yeah. Good times. Nothing's ruined people's lives more than League of Legends.
Yes! That and WoW.
Yeah, WoW ruined my fucking 2020. I don't want to say ruined, but it definitely like it won't hit me, but when it hits me, like when you get a Discord full of people playing WoW, it's no better feeling, man.
No, I envy you because I never had that. I wanted it, but the not consequences, but it's like knowing what would happen. I'm like, maybe it's good it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I secretly wish it would still would have happened because I can only imagine how amazing that must have been.
Gotcha. No, yeah, no, it was fun. It was great. So then talk to me. How did we get to where we are now? How did we get to the brand? How did we get to the amazingness? How did you make the transformation? Sounds like it was a whole ass transformation. When did you like, fuck it, we're going fucking yo, you know, when the band get back together?
So, I was teaching guitar around this time, around this 4 or 5 year gap of just uploading whenever I feel like it. And I had a student who I still have today. Shout out to Nick Spadola. And he ended up getting a very, very impressive piece of gear. So keep in mind with a lot of the guitar oriented music, you know, traditionally guitar, you hook it up to an amplifier and then you play through the amp. Or if you're at a show, they put a mic in front of the amp and you play. Well, with bedroom guitarists, as kind of basically fall under, we hook up to a box of some sort. It's not always a box, or even it could be an app in your computer that simulates the box, and it pretty much is a digital amp, and you get your tones and your sound through there. So this box, this physical box my student got, was the legit Lamborghini, the Grail. It was for those who know what it is, it's an Axe FX3. So like
the Axe FX3.
So like the industry leading bands, at least in metal, like some for prog metal or even some just a lot of metal bands, they use this. Like the records that we all like admire, the tones came from this box.
The Axe FX3.
Yes, or it was Axe FX 1 and 2. So he had the 3. I was like, oh snap! How good is this?
He had the Lamborghini of Lamborghinis.
So, really quick side note: there was one more reason why I stopped playing guitar.
Bro, just beating yourself up at this point. One other reason I failed and quit and gave up on that life.
Like dead ass. It was making guitar tones. Making guitar tones.
I don't even know what that means.
So when you plug into an amp, there are knobs, and you can mess with the bass, the mid, the treble, and when you add distortion pedals, and different amps and heads, you got to configure those to sound a way that sounds right. So if you hit the notes, you need it to sound powerful but not too messy. You need the single notes to sound clear but not too scratchy. There's this whole checklist of things that your tone needs to do.
I
Yeah,
don't know what the
welcome.
fuck you're saying, bro. I had so right before you, I had a really good friend of mine, and he's played in like bands. He's in like 3 bands at once, and he's done covers and shit. Like he's a like legit, and also kind of like metal hard rock kind of guy. I recommend you check him out. He's super awesome. And we didn't get this deep into like the music stuff, but I'm just imagining. I'm just like, dude, I don't. It's just a whole nother world that I played fucking. I was in the orchestra for like 2 years in junior high. I played the viola, and that's it. I didn't even play it well.
See, all this. Here's the issue here. This is a genuine like problem that a lot of guitarists face. Is that all this tone stuff? Guess what is not happening in this entire process?
You're not playing no guitar.
You just won $1 million. Give me your PayPal, boy. Give me that PayPal, because you just won. That is the problem.
Yep.
You are not playing guitar. The record I think was 3 weeks. No exaggeration. 3 weeks. I didn't play guitar. It was just tone. And I actually think I did get a little depressed, which is so silly. I know, like it's just guitar.
It's not silly.
I felt like I can't sound good no matter what I do. YouTube videos, forums, because Reddit wasn't a thing. I was actually on forum websites, and it was just like, how do I do this? And you know what? In hindsight, with what I know now and with what's out, it wouldn't be as hard. But back in those times, if you didn't have the Lamborghini or at least a, I don't know, Infinity or some other nice car, your tone was gonna suck, and you had to like figure something out. And so that was a really big part in why I quit. So now fast forward back to the story. My student here gets a legit Lamborghini, and I look at it and I'm like, oh my god, it's right there. It's right in front of me.
So you steal
and I play it. Okay. Now it reminded me when I saw it, I'm like, wait, I make money now. I could save up for this, but I was like, hold up, Eric, hold up. You don't play guitar very seriously anymore. Chill out. Just play it. Your student wants you to play it. And when I heard the tones through it, like the surge, like almost like Spider-Man gets bit by a spider. There was a guitar spider somewhere in that room, and it bit me the moment I played.
You're fucking transforming.
I was reminded what good guitar sounds like, and I was reminded I am in love with that sound.
Oh fuck, damn. So you heard that and shit, you're like this is what I've been missing all along.
Shiny God awakened.
Yeah, fucking I got you.
Like, let's go. And I was literally shook on the drive home. I'm just like,
I'm gonna fucking pick up my guitar.
I miss this. I need this. And so first off, this Lamborghini is it was on sale. It was $2,000.
God damn, nah, fuck that. Yeah. Not in this goddamn lifetime.
Now the sale, those the XFX 1 and 2 were $3,000. So here's the thing: the XFX 3 upon release did very little to distinguish itself from the XFX 2. There was, if you had an XFX 2, basically no reason to get it. So that's why the opening price was $2,000. It's like, oh well, it's not as expensive as the XFX 2, and it will eventually do more. So buy it, you idiots! Just buy it.
That's crazy.
So my student, obviously, for people who never owned an XFX, that was a steal. Well, I mean, it's $1,000 off. I mean, that's as big a steal as you're going to get with that. So, well, I made money at that time, sure, but $2,000. I was with my current girlfriend and telling her, yeah, I need $2,000. Yeah, no big deal, right? Give me that credit card. No, that didn't happen. And I was like, all right, think rationally. What is my alternative? 6 years have passed. You're telling me that the XFX has had zero competition? Hell no. What's the competition? What is it? Well, let me see it. I did a month's worth of research and found out that the XFX is an actual box, physical box. It's not that heavy. You could lift it up with one hand, but there are applications called VSTs, virtual instruments.
I've heard of those. I've heard of VSTs.
So VSTs so the thing about the XFX has like 500 amps in that one box, maybe 1,000, and they always update it. You have infinite amount of amps they give you, and they're of the top quality. Well, VSTs and VST companies had came out, and that's the thing. In this year, these companies were like a year old, so these
Mhm.
were like cutting edge. Like it's not like I'd been missing out all these years. These were just dropping.
Gotcha.
And so one or two of those amps the XFX would have, they will sell that as a single VST. And so I'm like, so I can find out the amps that I like the most,
Yep.
find out where those VSTs are sold, and bam!
Yeah,
I
you're not.
sound awesome.
You're in it. Yeah, I got you. Okay, I'm following along.
Now, these plugins are at most 120, on the cheapest $60.
Hmm.
Which is not chump change, but at the same time, I buy this and I sound like a boss. Like
Yeah.
this is what I was looking. This sounds better than anything I could have humanly possibly done when I was doing the pop stuff.
Hmm.
So I hop onto this VST stuff. I'm digging it, and that's when I realize, okay, I'm inspired beyond belief. What can I do to get back on this YouTube grind? And first thing, right out the gate, no more pop covers. Get that out of my face.
Yeah,
Or at least no more, like, I'm not going to do the same thing. I need to be smart about this.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, and I'm like, you know what? I have 1,000 subscribers. I checked. I somehow did not lose them. I mean, by all means, I guess I think YouTube had gotten to the point where it's so saturated with stuff. If someone subscribes to something, they just forget about it.
Sure.
In the earlier days of YouTube, like, I feel like people were more picky. So if you didn't like somebody, you didn't watch them, like, you would unsubscribe for them. You're like, yeah, I'm
Gotcha.
not into you anymore. I'll check you out later. So I think I got lucky. I somehow retained, but that's a double-edged sword. If you go, I had the number on my profile saying 1,000 subscribers, right?
Mhm.
I did not have 1,000 people watching me.
That were even active or whatever. I got you. I got you.
To this day, I do not have 1,000 people who watch me. So it's like, all right, I guess. It still looks good. So appearances, like, hey,
It's
he has
all
1,000
kind of
subscribers.
like superficial numbers, like inflated numbers. I got you.
Yeah. So I thought to myself, you know what? I wanted to this be as toxic or negative. I want to make the environment as positive as possible. So I thought to myself, I'm just going to do what I wanted to do. But so gonna do some anime, could do some metal. I'm gonna cover songs that I am sure no one will watch, but I'll just do it because maybe someone will care. You know, there's already a guy covering this, getting all the views. That's okay. I'm gonna have my version up, and I'm gonna be okay with that because I think I can have fun with this again. So my first thought was my guitar. I was like, okay, this guitar is the first like real expensive guitar I ever got. I think it was like $600.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, you know what? I need a guitar that kind of reflects how I feel now. I think it was time for a new guitar.
Gotcha.
And so, well,
Bro, you sound like a divorced wife, bro. You're like, I need the fucking new clothes, the new car.
No.
Like, I don't need him no more. I'm fucking new.
Oh man.
Jesus.
So the hunt began, and now here's another real big thing that changed with the guitar world. Back 6 years ago, from the perspective that I felt most people had, most like metal community, is that there were only major guitar brands: Ibanez, Schecter, ESP, and as far as metal, there's also Fender and Gibson. But if you're metal, you may mess with Gibson. But anyways, only like the big five, big six, whatever.
Sure.
Well, since then, fast forward to semi now, a lot of like startup companies came up. Companies such as Kiesel, Ormsby. We have Skirvison. We have a lot of these bands, these
Brands,
companies,
yeah.
brands. But get this, their guitars looked extravagant. They made the big 5-6 guitar companies' guitars look bland.
Yeah, I mean, your guitars look fucking sick as fuck. If you
So
haven't seen, go to any of his videos, bro. His guitars look fucking dope.
That's what comes into play. I'm looking at these guitars, but here's the thing. Instantly, I'm like, all right, it looks cool, but it's gonna play like trash, right? Because it's not the big six. You know, if it's not the big six, it's not very good, right?
Right.
Or Ibanez. Ibanez was a big one. Like a good Ibanez guitar was like $2,000. And so these companies were cheaper, slightly, not
Mhm.
drastically, a couple hundred cheaper than these big six companies. And so I did a. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I did a lot of due diligence.
Uh-oh.
And what it came down to is the shape of a headstock. If you look at my Ormsby guitars, they have like this fish hook kind of like scorpion-esque talon-like style. And another brand had that I had seen first. It was a brand called Skirvison.
Okay.
Bad luck for me at least at that moment. Skirvison models are minimum like $3,000, and I'm like,
Nah,
oh
fam.
no,
Nah, fam.
no. And so I made a post in a guitar group. I'm like, yo, fam, what brand has this headstock? I need this headstock. And the first response was Ormsby Guitars. I'm like,
Hmm.
all right, what's Ormsby Guitars? And I look at their guitars, and immediately I'm like, that shit looks
Hubba hubba.
fire.
Like wolf sounds. Yeah, I got you.
So I mean, it really caught my eye, and from all the stuff I read, they seemed quality. Now I did look at a couple others, but ultimately, the blue orange guitar you see me play my videos is what I ended up buying.
Okay, okay.
Now, to get a little nerdy, but not too
Nah,
deep,
nah. Hit me with it.
this guitar, if you look, the frets are the steel like bars on the
Bro,
fret.
come on,
the,
bro. You don't have to
neck.
you don't have the guitar explain to me. I got it. I know what a fret is, I think.
Oh no!
Come on, bro.
So the frets on the Ormsby guitars are slanted towards the headstock. They are literally at angle, like diagonal
Oh, I
angles.
see that, I think, in your thumbnails.
So that is called fanned frets. They're fanning outwards instead of being straight. So that was actually one reason why I was hesitant at first, because most people, man, if you go to Guitar Center, you haven't played a fan fret guitar. I mean, I've been out of the game I haven't been Guitar Center in a minute, so that may have changed. But fan fret guitars are something you have to know a friend who has one, and that's it. And I had heard mixed things about it. It feels awkward. Oh yeah, it ruined my soloing. And I was like, oh man, that's rough. But I took a gamble. I was like, you know what?
Fuck it.
This guitar design speaks to me. I had messaged him on Facebook, and I was talking to the guy on Facebook, and he seemed pretty cool. And I was like, yeah, man, can I ask what your name is? You've been really helpful. He's like, yeah, my name's Perry. I was like, oh, okay, cool. What's your role? He's like, oh, I own the company. And I'm like, oh,
Wait. You
I
were
was talking
there? What?
in on Facebook. I was talking to the Perry Ormsby, and that blew my mind. I'm like, this guy is just chilling on Facebook. I mean, not chilling, but he's running the Facebook and messaging people. And that's the thing. He gave me like very specific. I had very specific questions about the guitar,
Mhm.
and he answered all of them
Holy fuck.
in detail.
What a god.
It wasn't like one word answers. I'm just like, that meant a lot to me. I'm like, if the guy who is running this company can talk to me, and I'm not endorsed, I'm just a customer at this
You're
point.
not endorsed
I
yet,
don't even own a
baby.
guitar. I have not touched a guitar from them before, and the kindness he showed me, I was like, you know what, I'm taking the gamble. So they're from Australia, but it got here in less than a week. So kudos on them for using good shipping.
Amen.
And the moment of truth came. I opened it up,
Uh-oh.
and my girlfriend was right there. I'm like, all right, here we go. And here's the thing. No bias. I was like, I have to be honest with myself. If it sucks, like I'm just gonna sell it. You know, like I can't jeopardize my passion, my reinvigorated passion to this by lying to myself.
Sure.
So I pick it up, I play it, and immediately I kind of like I felt zero difference.
Oh.
And I was kind of like, and I looked at it, I'm just like, did they send me a normal one? Like straight I was like, I was like, yo, it feels the same.
Oh.
And I'm just like, but the people on the internet said otherwise. So I'm just like,
fucking bums.
There are different types of fan frets, and every company does it differently. And as I took this guitar to my guitar tech, he actually told me this was one of the lesser exaggerated frets he had seen. He had seen some fan fret guitars that were way more
it's like
extreme.
Fucking horizontal, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. So that made sense, but the fact that it felt the same, and the way it's constructed, the neck was slimmer than my other one. The way my right hand sat on it, it felt like it's almost like with cars. Like my first car was a very beat up '96 Corolla. Like it's falling apart everywhere, but it got me to point A to point B.
Sure.
And then I got a car that has working AC and the brakes are great. So it's like I feel like whoa, like
I'm a person.
this whole thing works. Like I love this. And it was at that moment that only added on to the inspiration. I was like, wow, like this feels like I feel like I'm leveling up. Like this is the power of a real Super Saiyan. Like,
yeah. You hit Super Saiyan 2, you're like, what the fuck?
Oh snap! Lightning.
You got the Z sword, but it actually was useful.
Yeah. Wow. Hell yeah. So
come on, bro. I know my audience.
Yo, yeah, you do. So, then I made the first video, and it was a rehash of that failed band quite a few years back. And one of the band members messaged me, and he said, "Lol," and then he never said anything else. I'm like, yeah, you know what I did. Only you know it. No one cared about that band, but you know what I did.
So you were like, the first video was a song from the band that you used to have.
But I didn't say it was from a band. I clickbaited and I said sick gent groove, gent being a subgenre of metal. So I was like, yeah, check out this sick metal groove. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that was kind of like, all right, let's check this out. I forgot kind of something, but that might be too much of a tangent. But my girlfriend decided to get into photography, and it ended up falling through. But we kept the camera, and it was a Nikon. It was an entry Nikon camera.
Sure.
And so we used that camera. She helped me use the camera to shoot this first video. So, so there was my first time with a DSLR and then uploading it into this video editing software that was on sale on Steam. I'm like, it's called Movie Studio Platinum 13, or is it 11?
What the fuck did you just say? You're using a fucking editing program you got off of Steam? Like you could have gone to fucking CVS and got a Steam gift card to get this fucking video editing program? What the fuck? What, do you have hats that you can put on your fucking videos and shit? Does it drop keys? What the fuck did you just say to me?
It's a hard life, man. You know what?
Just torrent Premiere like every other person.
Why? I forgot why I didn't do that. I don't know why I didn't do that, man.
God damn it.
You know what? I think I was having issues with my Photoshop, and I wanted something reliable.
Reliable, yeah. Steam, fucking.
Steam. Oh, I'm cringing. Oh no. Anyway, so I use Studio Movie Platinum, which through my research and YouTube tutorials, it is essentially a bootleg. Like the interface looks identical to earlier versions of Sony Vegas.
Okay.
So to make it sound cool, which is what I should have said, but I messed up. I use Sony Vegas.
Yeah, you use boneless Sony Vegas off Steam.
Yeah, I do.
God damn it. Bro, you imagine you're fucking playing a game on Steam and you say, your friend's in Studio Ultra Mega Platinum Edition and Knuckles.
My friends are very familiar with that. They've been like, yo, you've been in your video editor software for like a week now. You gonna close that out or what?
Yeah. Oh. It's like, bro, how are the graphics in your fucking video editor? When's the DLC come out? That's fucking insane. How many loot boxes?
Oh no, man. So the camera, the video editing software, new guitar, and the VSTs, all of this was like, man, this is a lot to figure out. And so like when I look at my old video, like I even look at my haircut, I was still figuring that out too. Because I was like, what's going on,
bro,
man?
Stop ragging on yourself so hard, bro. Take it easy.
Hey, man, it's the journey. It's the journey.
It is.
We're only climbing up.
Amen.
We're only climbing up. So, fun little side adventure.
Yeah.
That sick Gent Groove video, that was kind of like my first video with this whole new thing. I did that specific video because a much bigger channel, the name escapes me. It's a guitar mixing audio engineering based channel and they were doing a riff wars. So you would basically send a riff, and if it was good in quality, he would upload it. And so I'm like, whoa, this is my shot. Like, this is such a great first foot to get things started again. Like, so many people will see me, they'll see the guitar, they'll see I playing, like, man, let's do this. So there was a deadline, and I was doing the production, like, doing the recording, making it sound as great as it could. And I emailed the channel, and I said, hey, I wanted to know if sorry, there was no deadline. That was the whole issue why I was so triggered. There was no deadline. He just said send them in. And so I emailed him. I'm like, hey, is there a deadline you have? Because I noticed you haven't said it. I watched all the content, I read everything, and I just don't see one. He's like, oh, yeah, when do you think you'll have it done? I was like, oh, I should have it done in like this weekend at the latest. Like, I'm almost done. I just wanted to double check. He's like, yeah, you're good. Just send it over. I'm like, okay, cool. The week's going by. I'm on my lunch break. I turn up my phone. The episode was uploaded.
What the fuck?
I look hard, and I feel like just disappointment, rage fills my body. I'm like, and I watched the video, and there it is. It was Riff Wars. All these talented guitarists playing their riffs, all these comments. I'm like, he said I had till this weekend. Cool. And I was devastated. I was like, okay, all right. I was like, all right, okay, how about episode 2? Like, I'll set it in for episode 2. Not only did he release episode 2 and not include me, but this episode 2 bombed. Poor view count. No one cared about it. The series ended. But
that's rough.
The first episode that I was supposed to be a part of had a good amount of views. So it was just like, so then here I am, swimming in disappointment. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna upload the video to my channel and just leave it there. And it did kind of well for not having any regular engagement with viewers or anything. It got to about 1,000 views pretty quickly, and then it flatlined. So right now it's at 1.6. It's been there forever. But so it kind of worked out because it got a pretty good traction on my channel. Sure. But just the story of it is just like, that was why that was the first video back. Yeah. So the first video could have been anything, but that's why it was that.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That's smart. It's smart because it like capitalizes on the point that we talked about earlier of how, you could be really good at stuff or like have a cool idea, but if you don't have around like marketing, if you don't have a reason or some kind of thing around it, right? So to bring it into like somewhat Twitch terms, or from what I've seen with Twitch, is like people stream all the time and it's really hard to get discovered on Twitch, right? There's not really any discoverability on Twitch because unless you're on there, like unless you're searching for people or scrolling all the way down in a category, you're never going to find people. One thing you can do to circumvent that though is try to have events, or try to make every stream kind of like a mini event by like scripting out what you're going to do, by having a plan, keep everything moving, right? As opposed to just doing what everyone else does, is turn on their stream, turn on their camera. I'm going to go play, Apex for a little bit. Or I'm going to do whatever, and not really have a buzz or something around it, right? Not to say there's anything wrong. I literally did it like a weekend ago. So not to say there's anything with it. I'm just saying, giving an example of what I think does well is planned stuff. Like my best streams have been all my talks where I've had stuff leading up to it, and then the actual talk itself where it's like a structured, scripted kind of deal, right? So the fact that you were like, okay, first video back, let's see what's happening. Is there something else? Is there something relevant or new, trending that I can make a video of? And then having that, and I'm sure it was really good feeling. I'm sure it felt really good dropping it and being like, oh, this didn't do bad. Like this did pretty goddamn decent,
Yeah.
Imagine that. You imagine that hoe got 2 views. You would have been like, "This some fucking. I just got this new ass guitar, fucking haircut."
No haircut.
No haircut.
I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, the nice cherry on top is that was a band song, and that was one of the songs I had mostly written. So the fact that it was my original music, okay. I didn't really promote it like that, but it was like, oh, people are digging something I wrote.
Yeah, original ass shit. Nice. Yeah, I'm sure that feels fucking great. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it felt nice.
Love it.
So, with that dropping, I start thinking of, okay, is Eric Groot still cutting it?
Oh
And I'm like,
shit! You have to have a sit down.
Eric,
Oof.
that name, bro, that name, Eric, man, Eric, ¿qué estás haciendo? ¿Qué estás haciendo?
Oh no.
I thought I need a catchy name. I need something. And so my last name is Groot. And I've answered it more than once. I did not legally change it. And I was not cool until that movie came out. And then everyone thinks I'm some awesome tree. And I take those, I guess.
Yeah, we take it. Fuck it. That's free marketing. Fuck it.
That is. Unfortunately, it's not that I don't like them, but the Guardian movies are not in my top 5 or even not even. I mean, they're good, right?
For Marvel movies, it's not even in your top or anything.
It's not my top 5. So
maybe I might fit in some Marvel talk. I look down like I don't have an empty sheet of paper in front of me. I might fit in some Marvel talk, but I'm not your guy for that. But maybe at the end I'll give a little something about that. But not basically. It's just happenstance. It's like, oh, Groot and Groot.
Yeah, so I never write it out too much. I guess maybe if I had a passion for the character, I would probably milk it, but it'd feel too weird to go that far. But anyway, so Groot is not only true to me, but it's it's marketable, and I was just like, what can I do? So I don't remember all of the other names.
But it was a process.
Yeah, I'm blanking. It was a process, and I ended up on Groot Guitar, changed the name, and I didn't have any logo or anything. I'm not sure exactly when the logo hit. Nope, not there. Was it right here? Oh man, it was quite a while. Like I had the name Groot Guitar, but the branding had not stepped up. I was definitely on my mind, and the reason why I didn't do it is because I wasn't sure what to do. And I guess this is a really interesting part of this process is like, all right, how can I make this unique but true to me? And so, most of my life, I have not really, I feel like I've always been considerate that people don't want to hear a lot about dinosaurs.
Here we go. We get into it? Oh, here we go.
No, hold on. I am not someone who likes to just. I don't like conversations when like someone is kind of just talking to themselves. Like there's 2 people here and someone's talking, but they're not talking to each other. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine. If you're gonna talk to me, talk to me. I'm not here to be a mirror and to be your audience. So I've been mindful of that most of my life, and so because of that fact, I feel I don't know. Maybe there's sometimes I could have spoken up, but most people. Like in my personal life or even at school, they don't know how passionate I am about dinosaurs. And if there's ever a thing I hear, I'll bring up like, oh really, you like Jurassic Park? Oh cool. I'll start it, but I try not to be obnoxious about it because what's this not only obnoxious, but like, yeah, this guy won't shut up about dinosaurs. I don't know what's his thing. Maybe he dresses up like one. Like I don't want people thinking about that. So
right.
I always think about the branding. I'm like, for the longest time, I'm like, would it be too much to put dinosaurs in my branding? Like would people see me as a child? Because one thing I see a lot of more older people, not necessarily people our age, but they'd be like, oh yeah, dinosaurs are for kids. You like dinosaurs?
Little plastic dinosaur toys like, I'm a fucking stegosaurus.
Right, but I don't know, like I look at them, I'm kind of like, I mean, I didn't read anything that said you had to be a kid, but okay. I mean, kids like ice cream. You like ice cream? You a kid or what?
I like ice cream.
Oh, you freaking kid! Like, grow up. So I really thought over it, and I actually originally said no. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I want people to take me seriously.
Damn.
And I tried guitar, just making Groot Guitar just about guitars and stuff. And I looked at it, and I felt like, you know what? How much more unique and true to me would it be if I just put a dinosaur in there, but I did it right? Like it did to where it wasn't cringy. Fun fact, I am not a big fan of cute dinosaurs. So if you go to Hot Topic and look at those shirts, not a fan of those. I'm not a fan of.
I have tiny arms.
I've had more fair share of instances, especially in my younger days, from like, oh, they're like, oh, Eric, I love dinosaurs. I'm like, oh, really? That's awesome. They're like, yeah, look at this shirt I have. And I'm like, oh, cool. What's your favorite dinosaur? Like, oh, I don't know. I just like the shirt. I'm like, oh no.
Like, bitch, you can't even tell me your favorite age, your favorite fucking era of dinosaur.
Let me guess. You think the T-Rex is in the Jurassic? Get out of my face.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So, yeah. So after more and more thinking about it, I ended up following a lot of paleo artists on Instagram, and I saw what they're doing.
Didn't even know that was a
what?
subgenre of artists. We learn something new every day.
Man, there's some epic stuff that's what. Not only is it just drawing dinosaurs, but the color palettes, they go wild with them. And so I thought to myself, what if I got a dinosaur, but with the color of my guitar?
Oh,
like that.
I didn't even notice.
I think there's some sauce there.
Wow, that is saucy.
I was like, that would just link everything together. So then the biggest decision of my whole life, forget the major in college, what dinosaur do I use? Velociraptor, Tyrannosaurus, and the third one was Dilophosaurus. So T-Rex, most well known, but it's like, well, people think I'm just like Jurassic Park or something. Like I love Jurassic Park. Don't get me wrong, please.
It's the iPhone of dinosaurs, is what you're saying.
Yeah, please think of me when you think of Jurassic Park. But at the same time, like, this is my brand logo. I need this to be distinctively me and not just something else.
Okay.
So unfortunately, the Raptor fell into the exact same boat. Like, these are so if you look at my logo, then look at a dinosaur channel, like, what's going to separate them really? And so then the Dilophosaurus, which, by the way, are you familiar with what the Dilophosaurus is?
Fuck no, I don't know. Does it eat eggs? Does it steal eggs? I'm thinking like Monster Hunter.
Yo, good guess, because yeah, Monster Hunter actually uses several monsters using the Dilophosaurus. Anyways, you've seen Jurassic Park? Yes, no, maybe?
Listen, I didn't watch Jurassic Park when I was a kid because I thought it was like a horror. Like, I thought it was scary, so I didn't watch.
Kind of is. No, real talk. For kids, it kind of is.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
So you never saw it?
I'm bad with movies too. I'm not the movie guy.
That's fair.
Trust me, it's rough. And no one respects me. It's okay.
You're less of a human being, but I love you.
Yeah,
so
I get that. I know.
But here's the thing. Have you not seen in memes or ads something that has a frill?
Yeah, I mean, I know the thing. It's like, yeah.
That is the Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus. It goes the little frill and it spits black venom and then it eats you. Okay. Well,
and then Jeff Goldblum shows up.
Yes. Small lesson. It's wrong. That's not accurate. Hollywood made that up. And it's not true at all. And they also shrunk the Dilophosaurus like 4 times over.
Holy fuck.
So my idea was, I was actually going to do the frill at first, but I thought, no, again, that's going to Jurassic Park my channels. Like, I don't want that. So I ended up getting a more accurate Dilophosaurus that has some elements of the Jurassic Park one. Sure. No frill though. And to make it my own dinosaur. So like, again, had it commissioned, so no one has seen it before. Funny enough, it's almost like the universe working. At the time I was doing this, new Dilophosaurus bones had been found, and they had updated how he looked. They ended up finding out his frill was way more exaggerated than they had initially thought, and more about behavior patterns. And I read all of it, and I'm just like, yo, this is a sign.
Wow.
So I got commissioned. I found an artist on Instagram that I loved his use of color, and I told him, yo, I need a Dilophosaurus, and he delivered in full. And so I ended up getting that Dilophosaurus, got another artist, and connected these 2 Gs for Groot Guitar, and that's the logo.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love how you were like, I'm not trying to whore out my brand with Jurassic Park incongruities or not actualness. That's crazy.
It's like, it's so interesting because think about it. At one point, it has its ups because people might click me like, oh, Jurassic Park. You're like, what is this? But like at the same time, it's like I just wanted to stand out a little bit more and be something unique to me.
Nah, I think you found the right blend. You did what you wanted to do, which is important, and you didn't compromise. You didn't compromise for anything, and you found something you really liked, support an artist. And I never noticed though about the guitar, the color of the guitar matching the fucking dinosaur. That's fucking badass. Now you can have a fleet of dinosaurs for if you get any other guitars based off of the fucking color scheme. That'd be badass.
Definitely planned. Definitely.
That's awesome. Okay, so you had the name, you got the brand, and you're fucking rocking and rolling, right?
Yep. So the next step is, what content do I do? Now, here's the biggest decision I made regarding this content. I had mentioned it took me 2 weeks to do rendition covers.
Yep.
Okay. I am not the biggest fan of always playing a song the exact way it's played, unless it's a technical progressive metal song that I can hardly play anyway. Then I'll play that and it'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like, for example, a Simple Plan song, like a punk rock song from the 2000s. Like I'm not just gonna play that simple thing. I like to have some fun with it.
Yeah.
So if I do that, but I don't do the whole song, it's all of a sudden not 2 weeks. I could do this in 2 or 3 days, or if I get really jiggy with it, maybe a week. But by then, like, I'm just nitpicking and stuff, so I can cut the time in half by doing only a section of the song. And I think about social media, like in a lot of cases, I think people may not even listen to whole songs anyway. So if I just do if I cherry
the highlights,
the hype section of the song and jam over it, maybe I can not only save me on time and get some of my life back, but keep this grind going.
That's perfect. You like 80-20'd it. You're like, what is the part of the songs that people actually care about that could cut down the majority of the time it takes for you to do these things? No one knows the fucking second verse to any of these songs.
No, they don't.
I just care about I don't know half these songs until they start building up to the chorus, and then the choruses. I'm like, oh yeah, I know this song. That's everyone. That's literally everyone, or a lot of people's fucking listening experience,
Yes. So the decision was made. I'm going to do snippets of the covers, and I will do a unique spin to each of them.
Yep.
Now, based on the song, I used to only pick also pop covers that I knew I could do the most with. So if there's a pop song I could only do a little, I would obviously pass on it. But because I'm doing shorter covers, if there's only a little bit I can do, that's even better. Less time. Now I finish it in a day and a half. Now it's out.
Gotcha.
So this opened the door for me, and I'm like, you know what? I can do this. I can go ham on this. And therefore, the routine of trying to get a video out a week was born, because I feel I needed to kind of build a backlog of what I'm about, because all I had was these pop covers, which sure have a lot of views. Cool, right? But That's not what I'm about at all. I'm not about that at all anymore.
Not only that, but that was so long ago that, people who would have caught on or seen it is, yeah.
Exactly. So the agenda was then born to just do songs I like. Sure, there are some that might be a bit more relevant to whatever was happening. Like a new album dropped, I'd pick that song and do it, and that turned out pretty well for me. But ultimately, it was me doing whatever I want to do. I have done a couple pop songs. I did Billie Eilish. I did Justin Bieber. And I think that's it. So of all the videos I've been doing the past year, I've only done 2 pop songs. And that's the thing. I actually really liked those pop songs. Like, It wasn't just for clicks. I'm like, yeah, this grooves.
There's no compromise at any moment. It's still stuff. You're just kind of going away from... You're just maybe more interested in this type of music than some particular one. Or like the majority of maybe pop music or whatever that's coming out now, at least.
Shawn Mendes and Justin Bieber released a song, and the head was groovy. I'm like, yo, I get down to this. So I wrote a solo over it, and then that was history.
Love it. That's cool.
So the process, man, has been ever growing. I've had to learn audio production. Been leveling up the video game. I did upgrade my camera to a Sony A7 III, so we in 4K now.
Oh, goddamn.
That had its own challenges, rendering in 4K and getting the settings right. So it's actually 4K is its own challenge. There's one video here that was shot in 4K, but because it was rendered poorly, it looks like 1080p. I don't know which one.
Oh no, 1080p.
Gosh, man, when you're in the 4K land and the moment you step out of it, you notice you're like, oh no, what happened? It's
Okay,
like
okay.
the edges become just ever so blurry, and it's like, what's wrong with my eyes?
I
Like,
hate you people
God.
so much. I have a
Come
fucking
on.
DSLR and I stream to 2 people. I have no idea what I'm doing. When someone told me, "Hey, you look really washed out. You should lower your exposure." I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I don't know what I'm doing. That's fine. I'm just hating. It's okay.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
Dang.
So is that safely where we're at now? You're like, I'm fucking in it, making music that I like, having fun with it, posting whatever I want, fucking doing shorter stuff so that you can actually get stuff out and not take forever.
So one more thing I'll touch on. That'll kind of round up the whole thing.
No. Let's keep it moving. What's up?
The thing that has been the most fun, the sauce, the fun, it's everywhere, are the collabs.
Okay. Yeah. So, you do a lot of,
Here I am. I had no collabs at first. I did that Gent video, and I see this unbelievably talented vocalist named Victor Borba. Shout out, you're a boss. And he is not huge. I listened to his video. I'm like, this guy's amazing. Let me see the millions of followers he has. He had under like 1,500. Like I think I had just as much as him. And I'm like, oh no, what? Like all that told me is that he was new. Like he was new to the game. He had actually been uploading forever, kind of similar to me, but he hadn't really committed to it in a way where he was trying to focus on growth. He was just kind of doing things for him. And so when I saw, there was really no sense of like, oh, if I do it with him, I'll get all these followers. It was just that, man, this guy's voice speaks to me. I have to do something with him. Issue was, he is good. And, I'm a little down on myself, man. I'm just like, what can I offer? And that's the other thing, kind of another topic is being a guitarist, man. It's a little rough because guess what? If you look under your shoe right now, you're gonna see a guitarist.
Oh, fine.
Behind your green screen, there's a guitar. Guitarists are everywhere.
Oh shit!
Oh look, a guitarist.
What the fuck?
Everyone's a guitarist, bro. Like you never know what you're gonna get. Like it's hard to distinguish yourself. Whereas if you're a good vocalist, man, you could travel the 7 seas. Good luck finding a good vocalist who is willing to commit and do projects.
Interesting.
I met plenty of vocalists through this whole journey. It was never part of their passion. They just sang well. They thought it was awesome. At the end of the day, yeah, I sing sometimes. They follow whatever else they love. So here's this vocalist who's just in the realm of the metal scene even more. Like he's just epic. I'm like, man, I need to pitch a song to him to cover that I know he can't say no to. And nothing. I was like, I can't think of anything. And then this band called Polaris dropped a new record, a very heavy metalcore band, and they have a ballad song. And it's still heavy guitars, but the chorus is insanely powerful. It's clean singing for the most part. Yeah, like 90% clean singing.
Okay.
And the moment I hear it, when the song ends, I'm driving to work and I clench my wheel. I'm like, if I can get Victor to do this, I'll be set. Like that's the thing. It's not even rewards. It was just for the sake of just doing it. Like I just want to be a part of something that I can look back and be like, dang, this is dope. So with every collab I do, if I go to them, I write like a professional, like 3-paragraph introduction.
This is why you should choose me.
Eric. Like, hi, work with me, please. And without hesitation, he said, yeah, let's do it. Damn. And I was like,
no way.
I remember turning to my girlfriend Ruby, and I was just like, he said yes. Like I was in shock. Then the pressure came on. I had bought the VSTs, and I was like, my tone needs to be great. But here's the issue. I still couldn't program drums or bass.
Oh, I needed bum. You fucking bum.
This album just dropped. It's a metal band. No karaoke's coming out for this. No. Like I was kind of like, what can I do? I just got the opportunity. Now I just realized there's a giant hole in front of me. Oh no. I scoured through Google for vocal removing app.
Oh
When
no.
you get a track
Yeah.
and it does EQ magic and it takes the vocals out.
Yeah.
They are all trash.
Oh, garbage.
But my girlfriend love you, Ruby, who knows how much this means to me, kept looking and looking, and she found one. And it was good enough.
Nice.
Good enough.
Love
I
it.
sent it to Victor. Victor immediately tells me, yo, the cymbals on the drums sound a little whack. Can you fix that? I'm like,
fuck you just said?
Yeah. In my head, I'm like, they don't sound not bad, but yeah, okay, yeah. And I didn't know anything what I was doing. I move some knobs, do this and that, and I fix it. The cymbal was a bit too hissy. To be fair, it was really hissy, but I mean, let's say, it is what it is. But I fixed it. I sent it to him. He's like, yeah, that sounds great. And so then I told him I was using instrumental. No, like, not gonna fake anything here. Like, it's not me. It's I have the instrumental. I remove the vocals, and I can mix my guitar on the track so that it's audible enough, so that you can clearly hear me playing. And that journey, I felt, was the true birth of Groot Guitar, because I'd never been that excited. Like, I am finally working with a musician who respects the craft, who loves what they do, and above all, sounds epic. Like, Victor, you're so good, man. Like, he kills it. And so I ended up giving an instrumental. He says it sounds great. He sends it back to me. We do a little talk, shoot the video. Bam, we upload it on his channel. Every collab I've done is on their channel, except my most recent one from last week, which was the first. So I've released a video almost every week for the past year.
Damn.
But the big breaks, I did the math. There's a period total, not in a row, of 4 months I didn't upload weekly videos. And that was because of the collabs, because every collab is a full song.
Oh.
And because those collabs are full songs, sometimes I still add a little bit of flair, but I also just have to learn the whole song, and I have to, like, just make sure I can play it right and all this stuff. So those always took a lot of time.
Okay, so you're saying there was breaks when you were doing some of these collabs because it was full song videos, so it took the time out of you making your own stuff to do these. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Damn.
So these collabs, I don't want to diss my own stuff. I love my own stuff. Like, it's great. Check it out. But the collabs, I feel, where I am in bliss. Like, it is so fun. Like, this is what music's supposed to be about. Like, I don't know if I want to say I'm lucky, but I've never been able to find that many people who have the passion and respect for the craft. And so, through the magic of the internet, I found these people, and to know that I'm working on something with them, it's like, it feels right. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, creating amazing projects like this.
Right, like, you overcame that initial hump from when you were back, like, 19 years old, where you're like, fuck, where am I going to find these amazing people? And now you're like, come full circle, and you're like, these amazing people I'm working with now, like, these people through the internet, you're able to actually collab with and make great music.
Seriously. So because Victor wasn't this big YouTube baller, I believe he was humble, and he still is humble as can be. He just said yes to me, but him giving me the opportunity, I feel, gave me, like, an image of, like, because it was the cover was successful, and even the vocalist of the band commented on it and said he loved it.
Wow, that's badass.
Like, to this day, I love the cover. Like,
what song is it?
Waves by Polaris.
Okay.
Polaris. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's fucking amazing. Love it. Oh, Victor Borba. That's fucking badass, man.
He's a champ.
Look at you rocking out in the video, just fucking. Did your neck ever hurt from fucking?
Nah, you build resistance. You can't go too far. You learn the range of your body, and you know when not to go too far.
Shit, it's a whole ass thing. That's fucking cool. Yeah, no, you've been doing a lot of collabs and stuff. I mean, a lot of the posts, at least I've seen, have been a lot of collabs as of recent, right?
So I've only done one collab this year. On my channel, I do.
I swear I saw, like, other videos where it was you collabing. Am I crazy?
I mean, hey, crazy is beautiful, man.
Okay.
So on my channel, I have a playlist of all the collabs, because none of them are on my channel except the latest one, and I've done 4, 2 with Victor and 2 with 2 female vocalists.
Oh. Maybe I'm a crackhead and I was thinking these people in the thumbnails were people that you were playing with in some of these.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, clickbait, man. Click it. You see this guy? You love him? Click me.
Well, yeah. Well, that's something that we could talk about. So, like, on the topic. So now let's switch a little into nitty gritty that I can understand and relate with. Right? What is your like rhythm or frequency? I guess you kind of talked about it for releasing YouTube. Okay, let's take a step back. What social medias are you most active on for your brand? We're going straight like hard social media, like content creation stuff talk now.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Okay.
That's the trinity.
Gotcha.
For me. Oh, well, you know what? TikTok as well.
Nice. I was going to ask.
I'm not getting a lot. Well, when I say not getting a lot, I'm just not blowing up. I'm getting a fair amount. It's just a process, I guess. Where some people upload, some people understand the TikTok algorithm much better than I do, and they'll post such a short video and it gets like 50,000 likes. So I think I'm still adjusting how I upload to TikTok to get to that point.
Okay, I like that. It was easy to find you because everything's consistent. Okay. So those main. So heavy focus on IGFB, YouTube, and then you've been dipping your toes into TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you would say that YouTube is primarily your. Would you say it's the biggest one?
No. So because I'm not allowed, because YouTube doesn't allow me to comment on people, I have no way to advertise on YouTube. I mean, YouTube ads are sketchy. I feel like most people don't watch them, or they have ad block or YouTube Plus. So through YouTube, every view is really just YouTube only gets views from people clicking from Facebook. So when I get it, my strategy is I joined a buttload of Facebook groups that are relevant to my content. So I'm not just spamming in random places. I have a good bet they will appreciate what I'm doing. And I will essentially on release day post to all these groups, usually give a unique tag like, hey guys, check this out, or blah, 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 say some joke, depending on what group it is. And those posts get a lot of traffic. And some people will visit the YouTube link that I put in that description. So I believe most of the YouTube views come from Facebook groups, and maybe some residual views from just the YouTube algorithm just throwing me a bone every now and then.
Okay. So you're saying a lot of your effort into getting people to watch your YouTube videos primarily comes from Facebook. So like the top of the funnel is Facebook.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. Facebook funnels YouTube, but Instagram is the king. Instagram is where I get the most traffic, period. But the thing about Instagram is if I upload an Instagram video, I feel that my YouTube doesn't get any additional traffic until the Facebook posts are made.
Okay. So you're saying, would you say, so you think IG is your biggest like social media?
Yeah, by a long shot.
Wow.
That's interesting.
I mean, that's
long shot.
That's interesting. I mean, you have a good ass fucking Instagram because your like pictures are fucking amazing and it's pretty. Like you do Instagram like really, really well, right? Like it's you Instagram very well. It's a lot of fucking like high def pictures. You have, your YouTube like clips and stuff, and then it's just good ass pictures. It's visually aesthetic. So I get that. I'm just interested in hearing kind of what you're saying about the YouTube, because I would think that within YouTube, you'd be able to see, or at least get people to come like watch your stuff through virtue of kind of seeing how people get to your stuff to begin with. So for example, in your analytics, you should be able to see the pie chart of like where most of the people coming from, right? And it sounds like for you, the majority of those people are coming from Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. How deep in your analytics have you gone?
Yeah, exposed, not too deep.
Okay, fair enough. No, it's fair. I'm just asking because I'm trying to better understand how it works for you, because obviously I'm not giganto. I don't, I barely social media. I just like I try to put the stuff I say at least into practice, but I'm not like some established social media or whatever. I just kind of talk about the stuff that I know and seen and at least try to do. So that's one thing I would look at is like, does the hypothesis stand up that most of the people are coming from these Facebook posts and groups from you advertising your stuff, right? I'm sure they probably are because of the concerted effort doing it. I'm just thinking now, like, you know, the same way where you decided I'm going to do shorter videos of just the highlights because that saves all this time. You like 80-20'd it. I'm just trying to think, what if you took effort into marketing for your YouTube from different areas and how effective they would be as well, right? I'm glad, or it's cool that you said TikTok, because really I would think that a lot of the cool stuff that you post in TikTok, in Instagram, you know, like the middle of your feed, how it's all the clips and stuff, I would think those would go crazy on TikTok, especially with the cool, like, kind of the aesthetic and the vibe that you have already, right? At least that's what I would think. Like that's what I would think, and that's what I would like if I were you. I would focus on that because it's already like super high, awesome quality videos. And if you do like cool, like the I'm Just a Kid, like the Simple Plan song, I feel like that would fucking go cool, like crazy and things. Like really, it's hard to market to Zoomers. Like I don't really get it. I'm lucky that my little sister, you know, she's my Zoomer, like my subject matter expert for Zoomerology, you know. Mm-hmm. So she helps me a lot on that, but I really think TikTok could be a cool thing for you to explore, especially if you do like cool, funny stuff with the dinosaurs. Like naturally, like incorporate things of your brand into this stuff, like fucking weird dinosaur stuff, and then also you're playing really cool stuff that people can know and recognize. I would think that would do well.
Yo, you kind of just gave me a lot of ideas. So here's the thing. A lot of already established people in my realm, guitarists, musicians, all they do is upload their YouTube stuff to TikTok, blows up. Mm-hmm. Like they've shown it. It's insane. I'm just like, okay, I'll do that too. And that's the thing that I'm Just a Kid. It did better than some of my other ones, mm-hmm. but even then, like it didn't really. It's I'm Just a Kid, man. Like I feel like maybe not like blow up like any huge TikToker, but I feel like that should have been one of my highest performing videos.
I would have thought so as well.
It kind of didn't, and I kind of need to look into why. I'm still not entirely sure. But the idea you just gave me is, what if I did comedic content related to dinosaurs? Yeah. Of like stuff that like bothered, like funny little skits of like pet peeves for dinosaur lovers.
Yeah, that seems like a super authentic, like natural, like on brand tie-in. I mean, yeah, there's nothing stopping. I mean, TikTok's amazing for skits like that. And it's like, what are the commonly heard things of people, dinosaur lovers? Isn't that for kids? Like, you really like Jurassic Park, or oh, what's your favorite? You know, shit like that. You know, that could easily be something to do. Here's how I see it from the lens of a Zoomer. I feel like if you just like wiggled one of your dinosaur figures at like the start of a video and then you got into it, and then like at the end you wiggled it like to try to get a loop or something, or just something silly with your fucking figures, I think that would do amazing as well, because it would stand out. It'd be eye-catching. They're like, what the fuck? They'd be like, and then they see you playing, they're like, I like this song. I feel like that's how you capture Zoomer minds. I think if you fuck around a little with the figures and stuff, because you have fucking hilarious pictures with stuff, like all the Infinity Gauntlet stuff, and like a lot of the photography you do is like it's some of it's like really funny, right? Like you have that comedic fucking edge that I think could be really cool, and it's different, right? Like people would see guitar people there might be some kind of underground dinosaur niche of like people on TikTok, but then you marry them both and you're like, oh, this is fucking different, unique, and cool, you know? I think it's cool.
You've given me a lot.
Yeah, hashtag, look up hashtag dinosaur and see what the fuck shows up and see what the fuck people are doing. That could be cool.
I owe you a big thanks.
Check it out. Check it out. I think it would be something really cool. And I think the fact that you're amped up about potentially doing comedic stuff is great. It could be a nice little break too. It's like, oh, you know, instead of like guitars, you're like, oh, maybe I could do some stuff. And the cool thing about TikTok, and this is the thing, is that I don't think on Facebook anything that you might post there would go crazy viral. It'll go as viral as I think it can in those groups, but I don't think someone sharing it from outside of the group would be as big as viral as it could be on TikTok, right? So that's why I would encourage TikTok. Now, how many people get off of TikTok to go into YouTube? That's a whole interesting, different thing. But hey, I mean, what if TikTok ends up being your next Facebook? That could be cool. And it could be a fun, creative endeavor, at least thing to try, you know? Because, I mean, you're definitely doing the effort. If you're posting into Facebook to try to get people into anything, like, that effort is, like, a part of the reason why. Like, you have a fucking nice YouTube, you know, you have 1,000 plus 1.69K subscribers. It's pretty nice. And your Instagram's awesome. Your Instagram's really cool, too. Let's not undermine that. So, I don't know. I mean, that's something to think about. Now, I guess this is one thing. What is your social media like goal? What would you like? So I know before when you were first building your YouTube, you were like, I want to hit that 1,000, right? And then you hit it. You were like, great. You kind of burned out maybe-ish on the way there. And then you were like, okay, well, what would be my next goal? Just like another number thing or like something. So like what kind of goal do you think you have now for your social medias? Like what are you working towards, or what do you think?
So interesting enough, the goals I have are not oriented around social media at all.
Fair enough.
But in a way they're connected. So hear me out. The two goals are to keep doing more collabs, because that's what I have the most fun doing.
Yep.
It gets my name out there. It's usually working with other talented musicians.
Yep.
The second goal is to get endorsed by Ormsby.
Oh, okay. Love it. Yeah, that's badass.
That is the goal.
I love that.
We'll see if it happens. Time will tell. I've learned to just not think about it. If it happens, it happens. Because there's a period of time I was thinking about it nonstop, and that was killing me. Because that wasn't doing it. It's like me thinking about it is not gonna make them decide sooner or later. Like they are doing their thing. Like I may pop up as a thought every now and then, but hopefully the idea is to get endorsed by them and essentially make more collabs. So the reason why social media is important is because I feel, you know, Ormsby will care more if I'm obviously more established and my reach is greater with social media.
Right.
And the more collabs open up, the more my
exposure
media grows. So I think it's weird because those goals don't put a specific limit, a specific goal for the social media. Like I don't think I could say like 2,000, which actually, fun fact, I do have yearly goals. My goal this year was to get to 2,000 followers, because it took me an entire year. Instagram followers. It took me an entire year to get to 1,000 on Instagram.
Okay.
And this year was 2,000, but I am at 1,800 now.
Yeah.
I've been
stretch goal.
So honestly, depending on when I get to 2,000, if I get 2,000, hopefully should, maybe 2,500. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But that's just for Instagram. Notice I don't have a goal for TikTok or YouTube.
Fair enough.
And man, YouTube just seems so hard to me for some reason. Like, part of me thinks it's because it's not as instant gratification as Instagram or any of the others. I think YouTube is a bit more of the long game. And that's
fair. That's fair.
It's not just from this experience I'm having. I've talked to quite a few of other musicians who have been doing this much longer than I have, or at least at the rate I've been doing it. And they've said the same thing. I'm like, yeah, I put up a cover and I don't expect to look back at it till at least a year. Because, you know, they do a song by like Johnny Cash, and they're like, yeah, no one's look it up now, but they're gonna look it up, and when they do, I'll be getting some views hopefully. And so, you know, that turns true over time. It's kind of like sometimes you have this content that is like, it's almost like it has a seed in it, and you know over time the seed will eventually bloom.
That concept, I don't know how into like marketing ish stuff, but it's like evergreen content basically. It's like people are always, for as long as there are old people for the most part, be looking up like Johnny Cash or whatever on YouTube, or be looking up stuff, right? Like not necessarily trendy stuff, but like and also it will always be on YouTube. So that's the cool thing about YouTube as opposed to for like Twitch. So, you know, I come from like, I know a lot of like Twitch stuff, or the way of thinking of Twitch is like no one goes back to your VODs on Twitch. And no one can even easily search through VODs, right? That's not a thing that's in the culture of Twitch. However, YouTube is literally a fucking repository. It's like one of the I think it's like the second biggest search engine right next to Google. And also they're both owned by Google. They're both Google, right? So nothing ever goes away on YouTube. So that concept of like, okay, if you make stuff it's always going to be there on YouTube, and then you'll get residual views from people watching it, right? Whereas stuff on like Twitch, like no one's ever going to go back to look at something on Twitch, right? That's one of the key benefits of YouTube, is that it'll always be there, right?
Right. Right.
But as far as like growing YouTube and stuff, I guess I was just kind of interested in hearing your thoughts on how you would or are going to, or if you had any plans for growing the YouTube. A lot of the stuff that I've seen, hit me. What?
I do. And that's actually what I was talking about earlier. And this is a huge change. Part of the reason why I asked about your design person.
Sure.
The way I see the music landscape, covers, they're safe. Don't take too much time depending on what you're doing. And, they get the job done. But looking at the landscape of up-and-coming progressive metal guitarists, up-and-coming just metal guitarists, there is a specific niche that is blooming, and it's blooming and it's booming, and that is gear talk and gear reviews. Now, the Ormsby guitars I have, they are not something you can just go to Guitar Center and buy. They are something that reviewing those is one thing. On the other hand, I have a producer friend who has a gallery of very nice guitars.
Oh, Jesus.
I could name the brands, but they might go over your head. And I asked him, hey, can I use these for videos? Yeah. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, some of these reviews would catch some clicks.
Fuck
and
yeah.
So I am going to create, that's the thing you mentioned this. This is the birth of this idea is because of YouTube. If let's say I was just doing Instagram, forget it. I don't need that. My covers are fine. But for YouTube, I definitely need to grow more. And so I'm going to create a new series called Groot Gear.
Love it. Love it.
So I need a logo for that, something to integrate dinosaur with that and all that stuff. And I will essentially be putting on my lavalier mic and trying to do some comedy and essentially give a very informative review of the gear as well as a demonstration.
That's badass. That's awesome. That's super cool. I think that's really cool. When did you get that idea of doing it? How did that kind of come about? I heard you say, because you see that it's something that's really big-ish, or something that like a void that could be potentially filled by you. But like, was that like a new thing that you decided to do, or like what?
Yeah. So the first thing was, I actually thought about it a while ago, but I thought like, well, I only have like 2 guitars. That's 2 videos. So what? But honestly, my producer friend is kind of really key to it. I'm just like, no takey backsies. Like you pinky promise.
Gotcha. He's down with it. He sees the potential. Well, it's really cool because as soon as you said, like even if you were going to review like the guitar you have, how difficult it is because people can't just go to Guitar Center. So immediately I start thinking, of course that's going to get a lot of views because it's such a, like if anyone was trying to search for that particular thing, like someone who wants to buy it, they want to look up videos of people who have it and talking about it. And it's not something that there's only a few amount of people that might even own it, and then a few amount of people that do YouTube that would even care about doing that, right? So I think the effort in doing that and being able to like, it's kind of like the long tail. Like I could see someone being like, I want to know how Ormsby guitar fucking fan frets are, and you're like, hey, do you want to know about Ormsby guitar fan frets? I'm the fucking guy. Here's a dinosaur. I'm telling you. I could see it. I think that's badass. I think it's really cool how you're trying to do like different content that you haven't done, because a lot of people, I'm sure they would just be like, I'll just keep making covers until I die.
So fun fact, when I wanted to buy this current blue and orange guitar, you guessed it. Yep. I'm looking for reviews. What you guys got? How's it sound? How's it feel? For that specific guitar, the finish, the blue and orange paint job, there was no videos on it. And I'm checking right now.
Nothing.
Still no video.
Prime
there's
real
videos
estate.
of people playing it. There's videos of people with it in a guitar shop or something, but like a review with that guitar, there's none. And so I need to get on it soon.
Hear me out. Hear me
I'm
out.
gonna be the first.
Hear me out. This is free. This is for free. Call a video. Everything you need to know about. Wait, are they different guitars? Like this is different models of guitar?
Yeah, it's an Ormsby hype guitar.
Everything you need to know about the Ormsby hype guitar, and then it's literally just the picture of your guitar. That's it. Maybe text. I don't know. That's it. I'm telling you.
Everything you need to know.
I'm telling you. Just fucking just do it. I'm telling you. Everything you need to know, or everything you need to know, or thinking about buying, or something like that. And then just have the guitar, like literally the thumbnail should just be the fucking guitar. Like, so if someone's like, I wanted to buy this guitar, and then it's just a fucking guitar. I feel like that could be big. One thing I was going to talk about before I forget, I want to make sure that we talk about your strategy with thumbnails and stuff. Thumbnails and titles. I'm very interested in hearing about that because that's like I've asked different people and I've heard different opinions, but like thumbnail and title, it's like neck and neck with the actual content of the video at this point. Like it's really like right under there, because if people aren't clicking, it doesn't matter how good it is. It comes back to the marketing again and again. So I would be interested in your thoughts and that. But to go back to the Groot gear, I think that's badass. I think that's fucking amazing. I think it's really cool that you found something that you could make videos of, and just that, like, writing the scripts out for those. If you decide to do scripted, we'll just engage that funny, like, entertainment thing, because that's the one really cool thing about YouTube that I found out is in my preparation for doing YouTube videos and having to write a script and then just doing YouTube, you have to have that kind of narrative. That's kind of the big thing in a lot of YouTube videos that you get. It's start, middle, end, and building that narrative and having that structure, because a lot of times on Twitch, people just go live and it's just like endless games to nowhere and then you're done, right? It's not very structured. It's not very planned out, because a lot of people, they really just kind of go live. So that's just that extra level with making content on YouTube. That's part of the reason why I wanted to do it, to try to get better at honing that type of content creation. It'll also help you with fucking TikTok, because you'll be like, oh, how do I make TikToks? Like jokes that you'll come up for these scripts, you'll be like, oh shit, this could be a funny thing I could do for TikTok, and it'll be inspiration for that, I'm sure. You're right. I could see that happening. I think the gear thing is, and that's the best way. I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these, if you were to reach out to some of these things, places that you're going to be doing reviews of, especially let's say you have a video that does somewhat like just decent amount of views. I wouldn't be surprised if you start cold emailing these places if they're like, hey, I do reviews, especially after like a couple or whatever that you have, like, hey, I have a body of some stuff. Basically what I'm saying is by the end of this year, we're getting you that fucking sponsorship.
Yeah, I feel that.
Gonna do it.
So that is the goal. With the Groot gear, there is a goal.
Love it.
That I can either ask people to send me something, or the wet dream is that they send it to me just uncalled for, like, hey, we send you something.
Yeah.
That would be the goal.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
And that's why it's really exciting, and that's what kind of that's behind the motivation for sure.
I love it. That's fucking amazing. I think that's really badass.
As far as thumbnails, so I have my formula. It's not as saucy as the Krabby Patty secret formula, but it's got some sauce. So my process, colors. I need to be colorful and interesting, but not solid colors. I need a fade. It needs to look aesthetically pleasing.
Sure.
So I literally have a Photoshop template with a color fade, gradient, and I mess with the hues, different hue every single video.
That's smart. I like that it's like a process, like a template. That's smart. I need to get on that level. Yeah.
Just drag the hue, and to mix them up even more. So like I've had two purple backgrounds recently, but one purple's darker. So I'd add a contrast layer, just up the contrast, boom, done. Just like little minor things. Second of all is a picture of me or a guitar with some type of appropriate face of some sort. So depending on the video, so in one video, I'm not holding a guitar. I'm like looking up.
I'm looking at it.
videos about a question, like, think about this or that. Last thing is including a person, image, or icon that's very, very relevant. So a lot of times it's people from the band, but handpicked the iconic people of the band. The people where they'll know the face. So really, those three have been my formula. Whereas interesting color palette, having my face in there so they associate me, and having an image of something or someone that's very relevant to what it is. So in the SpongeBob cover, I have Doodle Bob, who is not associated with the cover at all, and then Bubble Bass. So things like that. That's kind of what I've been sticking with. Again, like I said, YouTube Tractor's a little rough, but what I do like to do is edit this thumbnail at the beginning of the video, so that on Instagram, when you see that column, you just see the thumbnails.
Yeah, I definitely, anyone who goes to your Instagram.com/Groot Guitar, they can see that you have it. So you have it set up in the way where all the videos in the middle.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the week, yeah. There's a period of time where they're not, but that's just how it is.
Okay. I heard this one piece of thumbnail advice that was really interesting. This guy is a Twitch streamer who does a lot of business content, marketing talks. Himself, he's like a chief marketing officer of this thing. His name's Devin Nash. It was funny. He started his own YouTube journey. And at the beginning of the YouTube journey, a lot of his thumbnails were like him and then text about the thing that he was talking about, right? Then he noticed, when I make videos on a certain topic regarding whatever person's, if I put their picture as the predominant thing and the text on the videos, it does better. And what he tried to deduce from that was like, no one knows who he is. So if they see a thumbnail with him on it, they're not like, oh, this person, because he wasn't known, or at least his YouTube wasn't known at the time. But they know who like Pokimane is. They know who Ninja is. So if they make the thumbnail just those people as like the focus, or the people in the thumbnail, he found some success with that. And I kind of took that. And so in my videos, for example, I'm not like big or anything, so it's a terrible sample, but I had two Texas kind of vlogs. One of them is a picture of Abbott, because it was literally around the time, like the video came out around the time he gave the mask mandate, and the other one was Ted Cruz, because it was a winter storm video, and I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Yo, that SpongeBob in that thumbnail is so good.
Yeah, I made a tweet that I was like, who else do you know has back-to-back videos with SpongeBob and Texas legislators in them? But obviously, like, the videos didn't do like crazy amazing or anything, which is fine, but that's kind of the thought process. So in my head, I'm thinking, well, what if the Simple Plan video was like something, I don't know as far as text, we can talk about that, but the video is like, I see how you have the guy and then the band and the album, right? I'm just wondering how it would be if it was more of the focus of like the person or whatever of the bands that you're doing these musics of, right? It's something to think about. I'm not like I haven't watched that many videos on like YouTube thumbnail to-dos. What I like to do is find people who are very successful that make content that I like and see what they do for thumbnails, right? So that's why I'm referencing this other person. I look at like content creators like Ludwig or people like that. Like basically I had like a folder of people who make YouTube videos similar that I like, or just that are popular on YouTube in general, and see what they do for thumbnails. So that's potentially one thing to think about. It couldn't hurt, right? If you already feel like some of the YouTube videos don't get as much traction with some of the things that you're doing, I think tweaking the thumbnail and text would be the best way. Because I'm telling you, people who click into your videos, like, they're going to be blown away by just the aesthetics and the way you play and how like animated you are in playing it. It's just getting those initial clicks that I think is the key. And then the other big thing would be, what's up? I'm sorry, let me stop.
I'm going to tell you, man. You just influenced this week's thumbnail. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah, I mean, I for sure it's something to try out. As far as text, I go very Zoomer. So like, I don't do a lot of, here's what happened, or I don't know. I try to go super Zoomer, very clickbait, very like, kind of you can tell what the video might be about. I could probably do a very better way of doing it, but definitely I go for like the zoomer kind of whatever. Like, basically, if you go to Ludwig's YouTube channel and you look at how he does it, that's kind of how I think about it. I'm just very like, fuck it. Kind of very blase fucking, or blase, kind of like whatever. Nothing too crazy. So like, for example, the next video, just to give you an example of how I'm thinking it, my next video, the Marz attacks, where I attack astrology, I'm not going to call it Marz attacks astrology because no one knows Marz. They might know astrology. They don't know what attacks mean. And I'm not going to make it a thumbnail of me, most likely. I might make it like an angry face of me, but it's going to heavily be more about astrology or something, or maybe some figure prominent in astrology, which I can't think of any. That's why I'm saying it's probably going to have me. And then it's going to be called literally something like The Problem with Astrology or something. I think I was going to probably do something like The Problem with Astrology or something like that, you know. So that's just one way I think about it. The text, but the thumbnail and text game is very mucho importante. I haven't cracked the code just yet. I'm definitely trying things. I'm going super zoomer. Some people don't go as zoomer. They might still have important keywords in the title that might help with the searching, but
yeah, my biggest experimentation was I was doing a cover of a very heavy metal band song, like heavier than normal. But the thing is, the band broke up like years ago. They're dead AF.
Oh no!
But so I was like, if I put their name in the thumbnail, no one's gonna care. So I put in the thumbnail heavier than Godzilla, and I put Godzilla in the title, and it got views quicker than most recent videos. And I'm like, okay, I see you. Like, for a band that people who don't even know the band, I think some of those views. I definitely don't think all 189 of those people know and love this song to death.
I got you.
So it's like, I'm still experimenting with putting really big text, like to highlight, like, hey, this is what this is. And I'm trying to get creative with it. It's like another one where I just did a guitar solo. I renamed it Reviving Dinosaurs with a Melodic Guitar Solo. And I put funny dinosaur memes in the photo and the thumbnail. And for being what it is, it's just a solo I wrote. There's no connection. It did semi well. And I was like, I think people clicked because they saw dinosaurs in my thumbnail.
Yeah.
So
for sure,
things like that.
Start doing those like random dinosaurs. I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is, if you feel like some of the views, like if you still don't see a pattern in the way that you're getting views, that's where you can try shit that's really left field and see like, okay, what the fuck will work? Like just make a fucking thumbnail that's something crazy like a fucking dinosaur, and it might work, it might not work. The point is to try different stuff, right? I'm just interested in seeing. I'm not like super big into the like music trend or knowing what kind of goes. Do you use any like add-ons or extensions or anything for YouTube?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I recommend looking up TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy. That one's really badass because it will, if you search for any term, it will tell you, okay, what are things that are getting searched with this term? What are, like, is it a keyword that you can search that has like a lot of competition? Does it have a lot of traffic? Stuff like that, right? So that could help influence the text that you have in the videos as well as the thumbnail text, right? So for example, like, let's see, I don't know, for like, I'm just a kid, right? So if I look up, I'm just a kid cover, TubeBuddy right now, for anyone listening, it has like a show keyword score, so I can hit it and it says, oh, a lot of people seem to search it. It's like so, and then the competition, it doesn't look like there's a lot of competition apparently. So it says it's a really good thing to potentially cover, right? And so that's just one example. I can send you a screenshot on Discord of what it looks like just so you can get an idea. Yeah. And then it'll also recommend other tags that are like kind of related searches to it and stuff that might help with it as well. So
you are really giving me some sauce tonight, man.
What I do.
I appreciate.
Well, that's why that's the cool thing, because it's like I just love seeing how like you have such an established YouTube and you're obviously very methodical in how you like go about bringing attention to it. I just want to see how we can like fucking just crank it up. It's just cool. I just like what you've done so far. So anything that I can do to help you out is just badasser, you know? Yeah, man.
Yeah, awesome,
no, dude. It's cool. But yeah, I think if you go for TikTok stuff, just figure out how to attract to the Zoomers. I'm telling you, wiggle your figures, and the Zoomers are gonna go insane. Just wiggle, and they're gonna go crazy. And then like, especially if you're like silly with it, because I only say that because I know a common theme in TikTok is when a lot of your videos have something similar in them, and something as similar and wacky as like a dinosaur figure, I feel like could be cool. Right, I feel it. I think. I don't know. Just think if it'd make a kid feel good, it'll probably do crazy on TikTok.
No, you have my mind actually racing, dude.
Good.
Damn, really?
Yeah, sit down and like Death Note, like.
Yes. Dang, that is some buffet for thought.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that's the thing. This type of shit is cool. Like this is shit that gets me going. So like, I was telling you kind of earlier, and maybe we can start wrapping up the content, or at least kind of wrapping up, getting to a nice closing point. But my focuses for this year were YouTube and Twitter, because I felt, much like the theme for this whole talk, is that it was something that drew me and like draws me. It's something that I can click with, right? I think it's me, because Twitter's a lot of just saying kind of outlandish shit and or jokes, which is something that I'm really trying to pivot kind of harder into, is like kind of formal joke writing, like comedian type stuff, which it lends itself, like being witty through text. I love it. Twitter also has really cool analytics as well, where you can kind of see how you're doing across the month, right? So how I keep myself in track. For example, my monthly goals were a certain amount of impressions for the month on Twitter. That's just one. It's not the best, probably. There are probably other ones. That's just one. I just picked something to start. YouTube, I saw it as way more growth potential than Twitch, and I also saw that I could do more types of content that are a little bit more structured, that lend itself to Twitter-ish, right? That kind of narrative, kind of writing jokes and stuff, doing different projects. That's part of the reason that drew to me. And the cool thing with YouTube is like, they give you so much fucking analytics because it's built off of or integrated really well with Google. Like, they give you so much shit. For example, and this is, for example, my Texas video, the 6th Street one, the Austin one, I saw the keywords that were getting natural, organic YouTube traffic, and I kept changing the title until I got to something that kind of matched what people were searching and finding my video naturally, right? So I stuck with like 6th Street as the focus, right? And I wanted something to do with mass because of coronavirus, which is prevalent, or it's obviously trending, whatever. So that was my thought process. And within the first day or so, after seeing some of the traffic, I was able to make those changes. So that's the cool thing. You can always go back and change thumbnails and video titles. Like, YouTube doesn't give a fuck. So you can go back and try to move stuff around and see and change the description or add stuff into the description to maybe pull more SEO, like people searching, right? So that's what I did with my Austin video too. I put more Austin, Texas in the description in a way I just kind of fit it. I made it work. So that's something to think about as well. So like, that's why I was so interested in hearing you say that Facebook was the way that you were getting a lot of people, because I was like, okay, well, you can go to any video and literally see if that hypothesis holds up. And then you're like, okay, that's a good thing that I'm working towards. And then seeing things that you could do to supplement it or do different or whatever,
Okay.
So
wow. Okay.
That's the cool thing about YouTube. YouTube has so many fucking analytics, and you don't get that stuff with Twitch. And it's like, you can literally improve your videos within hours of it, like within whatever of it coming out, and try to make it go better. So.
Okay, man. Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like you're just dumping sauce on me, man. Like, I'm literally soaking right now.
I just love talking about this shit, dude. This shit is very fun. It's very fun.
Because it's, we could always do things better, right? You have done a fantastic job of making me realize that I've done a pretty okay job.
Oh, you've done amazing.
To think what I could be doing if I actually looked at my analytics.
Sure.
Ironically enough, with this last release, this collab I did with a singer named Patrick. Patrick, you're awesome. He actually mentioned this too. He's like, "What's your analytics say?" And I looked at him. I'm just like, "Yo, what analytics?" And he had me look it up. And one thing I can say that I didn't deep dive. I just looked at it. Most of my viewers are from California, and I just thought that was interesting because I was born in California, sure, whatnot, but like I wonder why they're like it says all
Yeah.
the viewers from California. I was just like, interesting.
Maybe you're in a
Okay.
California Facebook guitar group. Who knows?
Good. But yeah, that's a lot of food for thought. You are going to see a lot of what we've talked about put into action soon.
Cool. Yeah, and I mean it's one of those things. Like I talk a lot of shit, but until you see me do my own thing, we gotta keep each other accountable. So
Easier
my new YouTube video definitely coming out tomorrow. I mean, you're gonna see it's gonna say some Zoomer shit. It's gonna say the truth about astrology or the problem with astrology, and it's gonna have fucking bullshit nonsense. But yeah, I mean that's the thing I love about content stuff. It's like there's so much to do. Like there's so much. So much. It'll always feel like you're not doing enough, but it's also very fun hearing from other people doing stuff. So like I learned a lot hearing about your YouTube process and everything, and that's part of the reason why I love having people like you all on the podcast. But sir, I think it's time for me to let you go, unless there are any final things you want to talk about. I don't want to like kick you out the door. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's 9:53, man.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, it does. All right, pick dinosaurs or Godzilla.
Godzilla.
All right.
Godzilla is a dinosaur. I don't know. He's a kaiju. I don't know.
I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you with a hot take or a hot topic to close this out. All right.
Godzilla.
Here we go. It is difficult to be a Godzilla fan. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So here's why it is actually difficult to be a Godzilla fan. Godzilla, I think in the true sense of the word, is timeless. Debuted in 1954. Literally just had a new movie come out on HBO Max 3 weeks ago.
I shot it in theater.
The thing about Godzilla, in that it's amazing, is that he is not one thing. There are 3 distinguishable categories of Godzilla films. One, the very first one, was a very politically charged, very serious drama. There's no humor. There is no look at the camera, look what I'm doing. No, it is very serious. There's some haunting imagery. It's literally the folly of man and what nuclear power has made us do. That's the first Godzilla. That is heavy. Okay, man. Like, I saw it. Get me out of here. Let's go watch a Marvel movie, please.
Gotcha.
So, but that's just the first one. The only other Godzilla movie to do it to the same effect is Shin Godzilla, which came out in 2016.
Yeah.
Debatably one of the most successful Godzilla movies in recent history, because instead of hitting nuclear energy, it touched on the incompetence of the Japanese government to help their people when the natural disasters and the tsunamis hit Japan. So we see Godzilla in the movie, but the director is saying, well, instead of Godzilla, this was a real life tsunami, and the incompetent government officials in the movie were real life people, not like 1-to-1, but it's the social commentary.
It was a criticism of the Japanese government. I got you.
So sure, there's a big monster, but these movies don't dive into any cheese. They have mostly, they don't have other monsters. It's Godzilla is almost like nature retaliating to mankind.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that's one type of Godzilla movie. Second type is the cheese.
Brain dead lizard girl burn.
Oh man. So the cheese is like when Godzilla goes like
yeah.
When he charges at you flying on his tail, like that Godzilla is mainly in the era called the Showa era. And that's the thing. Later Godzilla movies take bits and pieces of it, but only a certain era of movies commit to it. So this caters to people who just want to like watch a bad movie and it's so bad it's good. It's clearly rubber suit like monsters B-movie. Going like it's what it is and you love it because it's that. So now the third genre is when it takes itself a lot more seriously than the cheese, but it incorporates more of the serious elements from the first one. It's not a social commentary. Godzilla is still fighting giant monsters in a city, but there are actual heavy themes. There are human elements with drama involved, and Godzilla plays a role in the story other than just punishing mankind.
Big monster go burr, yeah.
So big monster still goes burr in this last one, but it's not totally a joke. It's definitely trying to be taken seriously at time.
I see what you're saying. It's serious, but it's not like trying to tell. I don't think Godzilla vs. King Kong was trying to tell a bigger story than, you know, monkey fight lizard. I don't think. Was it? Did I miss something?
100% wasn't. So the era where it's like cheese is like Showa.
Okay.
And then the one where it's semi-serious is Heisei. And the thing people are saying is Godzilla vs. Kong, this new one, is essentially a modern-day Heisei movie.
Gotcha.
Like, it really is. Like,
yeah, he's not dancing. He's not doing a fucking TikTok dance. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but it's definitely, there's no big message here. It's big monkey versus big lizard.
I'll team lizard.
That's what we're here for. So here's the thing. Godzilla fans are always... they're always introduced. You can only watch one movie at a time. You can't watch multiple. So whatever your first impression of Godzilla is, and you fall in love with it, that's what you want. So as a Godzilla fan, you have to accept that not every release is for you, and that's hard. Because Godzilla is not some weekly Netflix show. We get every 3 or 5 years. You're so excited. There's all this promotional material, and then you see it. You're like, oh, this isn't for me at all. So years ago in 2017, 2016, 2015, whatever, there was a Godzilla anime on Netflix. It was all 3D models. It's not the new Godzilla anime that's coming out. It was the first Godzilla anime, and it was oriented in space. It is the biggest Godzilla ever. He's like 1,000 feet tall. He's the god of the earth, the most epic Godzilla ever incarnated. It's epic. But the movie is not about Godzilla fighting monsters or Godzilla doing anything interesting. It is an entire slog about a knockoff Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan.
Oh no!
Just complaining and whining. And here's the thing: it's for a specific audience that indulges in the human drama, and Godzilla is like hardly there, hardly a consequence.
Gotcha.
I wanted to love it because the Godzilla himself is truly epic, but the series
big old boy,
undigestible. Can't even watch it because it's bad. It's that bad for me.
I saw a YouTube video that was like the size of Godzilla across the years. That shit's fire.
Changes every single movie. Even this most recent one, he is slightly taller than he was in 2019.
Damn. That video though is fucking amazing. I'm gonna link it.
Love it. I think I know what you're talking about. I'm curious if you see. So there's a new Godzilla anime coming out, and it's already.
It's about like Ultraman or whatever, right? Or fucking.
Singular Point.
Oh.
It has the first anime. It's like it was space. It was an animated thing, but it wasn't like anime, if you know what I mean. Well, I'll say this: the new anime, the two main characters have pink and white hair.
Uh-oh.
It's a real anime this time.
It's gonna be an isekai. Oh my god, I was rebirthed as Godzilla.
So I haven't watched it yet. I'm waiting till a couple more episodes come out, but I'm very curious. That's the problem, which is why, back to my opening statement, it is hard to be a Godzilla fan. Because let me say this: Godzilla vs. Kong, I saw it twice in theaters.
Oh wow!
And I've watched it like 8 times at home.
Damn.
All the way through. Like I nowadays I'm just skipping to the battle, but like it is everything I wanted. It is big Hollywood budget Godzilla. It's the throwdown and the cinematic experience I've been wanting.
Yeah.
But this new anime, like, will it be for me? Will I hate it? It's like being a Godzilla, and the worst part above all is in the Godzilla fandom, people think what they like is the best.
Oh, of course.
And if like, oh, like the Godzilla versus Kong, you know, it knows what it is. It's a fun time. It's a UFC match, but with big monsters.
Yeah.
Everyone is saying, yeah, the character development wasn't there. But I was like, yeah, you're right. And you can say that, but some people are like just dogging on it. And I'm just like, do you know how many other Godzilla movies? There's many that have poor characters and it's just monster fighting. but it's just like, so if it's all about these buckets.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I try to be in all three buckets. There's one I'm definitely a little less in, and that's the very serious one. I like it. I like Shin Godzilla. Don't get me wrong. And if you ever want to trigger two Godzilla fans, just ask them, hey, who here likes Shin Godzilla? One of them will like it, one won't, guaranteed, and we'll start fist fighting.
Gotcha.
So
that's amazing.
That is my statement of why it is difficult to be a Godzilla fan.
In conclusion,
he's a little bit for everybody, and sometimes it's not going to be for you.
Amazing. I love it. I love how you left us with a fucking 5-minute video on Godzilla history and lore. That's amazing. I don't think this talk could have ended any better.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. Anything you want to promote and let the people know that you have coming down? We heard about Groot Gear. This is the first
heard it. Premiere.
Hotness. You got any cool videos coming out soon, or anything you're excited about as far as guitar covers, collabs?
If you're into video game music, if you like Killer Instinct, you're gonna love this weekend's video.
Okay. That's the fighting game, right?
Yeah. Mick Gordon fans, if you like the Doom soundtrack, you're gonna love this weekend's video.
Doom soundtrack was kind of hard, rip and tear.
Everyone in my house, they've heard the song. They're just like, "Is that from Doom?" I'm like, "No, but it's the same guy."
Gotcha. That's awesome. All right. Well, we'll keep that. Your socials: Groot Guitar, YouTube, IG, Twitter. Check them out. Subscribe. Hit the follow. It was a pleasure talking to you. It was very fun. Love talking to people who are doing their thing, who are passionate and are doing it and enjoying it and all that. It's very fun, very awesome. I think this talk was great. It was great. I think everyone got a taste of your personality. It's wonderful. I had a very good time. I learned a lot. You learned a lot.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
It's awesome.
Cool. I want to thank everyone who tuned in and will be watching and or listening to this mega monster of a podcast. And this is it. Earth to Mars 10. Out. Boom. Okay, this is where I would end the video. I don't know how it works on YouTube now.
Oh.
I guess I can end the stream. I don't really need to. I'm going to put a marker. Cool. All right. That's it. That's the podcast. Woo, we did it. Oh my God.